Hello, everybody. Good evening. Let's see who's going to be joining us tonight. As expected, I definitely anticipated Mr. White being first in line. Hi, Miss Frizzle. Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's see who else is here. Nobody else from, oh, there's a few people. Oh, here we go. We have a new moderator tonight, so he's going to be joining us eventually too, which is exciting. Hello, Miss Frizzle. And feel free to share your real name with us or don't. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, my last name is not Frizzle, definitely. I just did that because it's the Magic school bus theme. My last name is Hamblin, which is much more boring.
Hamblin or Hamlin?
Yeah, Hamblin. There's a B in there.
Excellent. Hello, Mr. Kneisel.
Hey guys,
How's it going?
pretty good. Happy Saturday.
Yes, Saturday before going back to work. Did everybody enjoy their time off so far?
Been working on it.
Trying to. Mr. White, you have a fan club in the chat here. Man, oh man.
They tend to be my Velcro children.
Now, Miss Frizzle, you teach middle school, or Miss Hamblin, you teach middle school, right?
I teach, so I am a part of a school district that does, we go to both campuses, so 6th, 7th, and 8th is middle, and then 9th through 12 is high school, but I primarily do things at the middle school, yes.
Okay. Very cool. And you're on a team then?
Yes, we have 5 of us total. I'm one of the 5. We have a head director and then 4 assistants across both campuses.
Wow, that's awesome. So a very big program then.
Yeah.
So very different than Mr. Kneisel and Mr. White's setup then.
Yeah, my school that I'm at right now is a 7A school in Mississippi. But I come, but I come from a school that was much smaller. This is year 7 teaching for me. And this is the biggest school that I've been at. I've never been at a school this big. And this is my 2nd year at this current school, so.
Very cool. Everybody thinks you're from the Magic School Bus. You kind of look like it, I will say. You play the role really well.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can buy those dresses and stuff, so that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I was this close to being her for Halloween this year, but I dressed up with my team for something else, so.
That is awesome. Well, I'm so glad you could make it tonight. You said this is year 7 for you.
Yes, year 7.
Mr. Kneisel, how many is it for you?
Year 9.
All right. And Mr. White, 4?
4.
All right. Excellent. Well, I'm so glad you guys could join us tonight. We will be having a special guest with us at some point in the night. They may or may not, did not get my message about the Eastern time zone. So let's just say they're not in the Eastern time zone, much like probably all of you. So you're in Mississippi. This is our 3rd Mississippi band director. That's awesome. Where in Mississippi are you?
I work at Brandon High School, which is like in central Mississippi. I'm actually from the northeast area in Mississippi. This is my 2nd year being where I'm at. So all of my other jobs have been up north.
Okay, very cool. I have a student one of my former students went to Ole Miss.
Oh, me too.
And he just got done student teaching. So
Yeah.
he was in Oxford High School, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He says a really big program.
Yeah, the Oxford is the obviously the town that Ole Miss is in, but their high school has a big program. Yeah.
Yeah. He's excited to be almost done. So
I think teaching band is trying to get in. Says it's not letting her in.
I know. I accepted her invite. Let me see if I can try again.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Kneisel, for helping me out with that. Erica is her name.
There you go. Hi.
Hey,
Sorry.
you made it. Sorry, Mr. Kneisel to the rescue for that one.
I need to write it all down. Everyone's first name.
I know, right? My very first job I ever had was I taught skiing to kids part-time at the local ski resort where I grew up. So I would have like anywhere between, 5 and 20 4 to 6 year olds, in one class. So if I did not learn their names very quickly, I wasn't going to teach them anything. So I had to get really good at learning names. So I'm
Yeah.
that's one thing I will say that I'm pretty good at. Now our moderator tonight, he's saying that he's ready, but I don't see him in the thing. So let me try to find him. Y'all, I have a topic. What do we do after a concert? Like, what's your go-to post-concert? What do you
This
do the
year's a
next
little
day?
different for me. Normally we do like self-reflection and everything, but we have our concert, and the next day I'm supposed to be in Midwest.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's pretty a quick turnaround.
And that takes us all the way to the rest of the break. And then we're going on our big college bowl trip to Orlando.
And you
Yeah,
normally
for-
do a reflection?
Normally we do like a self-reflection, do some pep band music, things to keep them playing, keep them from just completely clocking out for the rest of the break. But there's only like 4 days left anyway.
Yeah, I guess it depends like on the concert season, but usually like yes, reflection, listen to the concert because it is most likely going to be recorded. Just a lot of conversation, like what did you think about it? What are some goals, like goal setting? But then also sometimes if our concert's on a Thursday night and it's a Friday, I kind of know that I'm not going to have their attention because it's a Friday. They will probably, you're right, that we'll probably like do community bonding or, like, I don't know, even go outside or play in the J. It just depends. It just depends on the day, depends how I feel. But they
Right.
always will end up having some form of reflection and goal setting. And one year I actually had them spend the entire class like picking the rep for the next concert. So they really liked that. I did a whole lesson on like, how do you choose repertoire? What's things to look at? And it was actually quite nice. And I think that year we played 2 of the pieces that people recommended.
That's awesome. We normally do a concert reflection, and I used to do them on paper. Now I do them on, what is it? Google form that they fill out. I make them use complete sentences. I say capital, it's good to have capital letters. Like, your name's a proper noun. This is where I teach them, do not fill out this form without capitalizing your name. Because I don't know about you, but that drives me nuts. And they just say, what were some strengths you had about the concert? What do you think went well? What didn't go well?
Right.
And then we listened to the concert because I recorded it, and then they get to just hang out. And I also make them clean out their mouthpieces really good because they probably haven't done that in a while.
Yes, we do that too.
And clean out their cubbies and their binders and cases. Like let's just start fresh. So that's what we do. Mr. White?
Yeah, for me, it kind of depends on the day. When I first started, we had our concerts on Thursdays. So definitely what she was saying, where it's kind of like not going to get much out of them. Now, minus this concert, they're normally on Tuesdays. So then the rest of the week, it kind of depends on where we're at in the school year. If it's after our winter concert, we'll probably go ahead. This year, we're going to get ready for band day, that big event that I talked about with everyone. So they'll all get their music to start just looking at it. The older kids, it's just, what are some things that you would mess up if you were a sixth grader? Circle it, because you're going to have a sixth grader next to you next week, and you have to help them go through that as well. After our finale concert in May, I usually go on a birthday vacation. So like this year, I'm thinking about going to Seattle.
Good for you.
So they leave your instruments at home. Have fun. Pretty much how it is.
Yeah, Thursday night. I do Thursday night concerts too, and it's hard to do anything the next day, which is fine with me because I'm exhausted.
Right.
Miss Frizzle, how about you?
Yeah, we actually go back to school on Monday, obviously, and we have our Christmas concert on Tuesday. And so it's kind of early because then we still have 2 more weeks until we're out, for the holiday break. And so I don't see my kids every day. We have an A day, B day schedule. So I will see them on Monday. I won't see them on Tuesday, but we'll have the concert that night. So when they come back to me on Wednesday, we typically do a little reflection, like you were talking about. Like we kind of listen to the concert, see what went well versus what didn't, or maybe what went great in rehearsal, and then like, oh, there was something crazy that happened at the concert or something like that. I also usually make them do something fun. Well, I think it's fun, of like having them tell me who they thought the like best section was, but they can't vote for their own section. So like you have to give someone else praise, obviously, for doing something good. So I think that that's with our sixth graders especially. Because our sixth graders are in like homogeneous classes and they only come together for the concert. So they never get that kind of experience. So not tomorrow, but Monday, we have our first and only after school rehearsal that I'm running with our sixth graders to put all of our instruments together because we've never done that before with these kids. So.
Well, that's exciting. What are your numbers like? I mean, if you don't mind me asking.
That's okay. So our sixth graders, we have like 103, in sixth grade total. Seventh grade, I've got like 60, and I think our eighth grade we have like 65. Our school is fairly big, and when they get to seventh grade, there's not always time for them to do like multiple extracurriculars, like us in sports, because sports also take up a block in the day, and so sometimes that gets a little bit tough with them having to choose. And I don't like for them to have to choose, but the way the schedule works, unfortunately, sometimes they do have to. So we usually see a drop between 6th and 7th grade, but then it kind of steadies and levels out. So Monday, we will have 105 sixth graders all together at once.
So they have to choose between sports and band?
For some of them, like if they want to do multiple sports and band, then yes. Now, if they want to do just band and one sport, then we're cool. That doesn't interfere. But like football is its own block, and then baseball is its own block, but they're two different blocks. So a student can't have a band block, a baseball block, and a football block, because then they would only have 5 blocks left for like their regular classes, and so it gets a little funky.
Okay. So you're on a block schedule. I see.
Yeah, even at the middle school.
Gotcha. Anybody else on block, or is it like 7, 8 period day?
We have like an 11 period day.
I thought we were
used to be
bad with
12.
9. What'd you say, Mr.
I forgot
Craig?
one other thing we do for right after the concert is we have our Secret Santa.
Oh, perfect. That's exciting.
We are on a 5 period schedule. Like we do like the rainbow colors, and then we have blue and gold days for the fine arts classes. That's what our schedule looks like.
Okay. Wow, I could imagine not seeing them every day. I know growing up, I didn't have in like 5th and 6th grade. I didn't have band every day. I think I had like art 2 days a week, and then I had band 3 days a week. But
yeah, I had band every day when I was growing up, and all the other districts that I've ever taught at have been that we see them every day. I came from a school that had like 7 periods in a day at our middle school, but the high school was on block. So this is quote unquote new for me. I mean, it's my 2nd year, but I'm finally adjusting to planning for those longer blocks, but then like not seeing them on a day and stuff. That just makes it kind of weird, but.
yeah, I don't know what I would rather have, like, 9 periods a day or 4 days a week. Like Mr. White teaches a 4-day-a-week schedule.
That is nice. And not having it sounds like everyone does an interesting schedule or rotates. We don't do that. It's pretty every day, same classes.
Are you the only teacher that has to go between the schools, like the high school and the middle school, or are there other teachers that have to do that too?
I think the only other teacher is one of our high school ag teachers. She'll teach like the first 2 hours of the day. She'll teach like a foods class.
Cool.
And then goes to that. So otherwise, hers is the opposite. So she'll start at the middle school and then go to the high school.
Gotcha. We have some people in the chat saying I have 10 periods a day. Man, we thought Mr. Kneisel had. I guess he still has the most at 11. How long is your day, Mr. Kneisel?
It goes from 7:50 to 3:10.
Still shorter than my day.
Wow. BTW, thank you for the gifts. Just got us lots of gifts there. Thank you.
One kid says I have 12 periods. Oh wow. They must be like what, like in a day? Are they like what, 30-minute
They're like
classes?
33. Yeah,
What do you do in 33 minutes?
That's
Nothing.
wild.
well, a lot of the classes they'll argue for like the core classes to get like there's 12 periods, but 2 of those on the block schedule it'll be English or math or something. You know, that's how it was for the
Oh,
longest time. We had like our English classes were getting, I think it was 230 minutes of English a day, and then they're getting like 28 minutes of every other class. It was
Wow. I can imagine. Miss Allen, I will play my instrument if you let me in live. That's okay. We don't really know what would show up on the screen there, man. Like, I appreciate it. You know, just tag me in a video and I'll listen to you.
yeah.
We don't know what's going to show up, so, but thanks.
Oh, I saw that really cute video of the oboe player who was his mom was like showing you off, like, look, Mrs. Allen commented.
He called me tough, and I was like, is that good? I think that's good.
Yeah,
Oh
a
my
parent
God.
once told me that it's good to be tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
It is.
learning.
Yeah.
Miss Allen, what are the upside down notes? I'm a beginner clarinet. So the notes that are upside down means they're going higher on the staff. So anything past B, they're just the same notes. They're just the stem is pointing down now.
It's the same thing on bass clef. Once you get to the middle line, they flip.
Yep.
I tell the kids, like, we don't want the notes to fall off the paper.
Right.
Nice.
That's a good way to put it, for sure. Oh, Avery wants to give a shout out to Miss Frizzle. You must have some fans in the chat, Miss Frizzle.
Oh.
We do have a special guest with us tonight, and I will take some guesses at who we think this special guest might be, if you'd like, and I can like.
To the chat guest first. Chat, what do you think who's
Yeah.
our special guest?
Ooh, yes. If you're gonna hang out this whole time.
Well,
I
while you're
think
doing
it's
that,
safe to
Chimichanga
say-
says, what's a tie? A tie, I mean, other than something you put on your neck, is it connects 2 notes to make it longer, 2 of the same notes.
I actually use the tie as a reference because on either side of a tie you have your shoulders, and your shoulders, same line
I
there.
talk about a kid tying their shoelaces
Brilliant.
together.
And then for tie, I say, like, what happens when the game is the same score? And then they said a tie. And I was like, well, a tie connects the same note. And they're like, oh, okay.
Brilliant. All amazing ideas. Thank you guys. We have to remember. I gotta lock those in.
Miss Ellen, is it safe to say or guess that the guest artist is a composer?
Yes, it is a composer.
I know it. Oh my goodness. Chat, you gotta guess. Like, what do you play?
Now
All
I have asked a few composers,
Okay, great.
and there is they all were like yes, but this is the one that's showing up tonight. So
I love
like,
it.
and I did,
love it.
and there is another person I've asked, and like I think that one will blow your mind if it ever happens. We
Yeah.
just got the heavens have to align. Like
Yes, absolutely.
for this one person that I have in mind because this person is ridiculously busy, and
course.
I like. But yes, I think you guys will be excited. I
So
hope.
is this
Sam guessed Brian Balmages. Someone said Stephen
Balmages.
Schwartz.
Ages.
Balmages, sorry. Julie JaRod, that's a good one.
yeah, it's a good
a
one.
good one too.
What
Yeah,
was that? You get bonus points for that.
yeah, right.
Peru actually lives like 30 minutes from me. Fun fact.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's like from this area of Mississippi, and it took me a long time to know that.
Here's my next question for the composer. Does this composer live in Texas?
Yes.
I think I know who it is. I warned you guys I was gonna freak out, didn't I? Oh my goodness, you have no idea. I love composers. Like, I'm team composer. Chat, if you're a team composer, put hashtag composer. Like, composers make me so happy. Like,
I'm so glad we have them, and they're good at what
Yes.
they do because, like, we couldn't do our like, I feel like I can hype up kids and get them excited about music because there's great music in front of them. And if we didn't have that, it would be really hard.
So I just want to contribute this while we're waiting for our guest composer. Now we know it's composer and now it's Texas. So everyone in the chat, go Google like band composers in Texas and then like start guessing. But what was I going to say about like, Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys feel this. I get so excited. So like, just give me a minute.
You're fangirling out.
Yes, I am fangirling. So I feel like the band repertoire, especially for like younger bands, is a new band era. Like the past, I want to say like the past like 5 to 7 years, like a lot of emerging composers have come out and like they're just making really like harmonial, like not just like it sounds more mature than what's written, basically. And I'm just a big fan of composers. So,
Someone
is
said
it
Scott
Scott
Joplin.
Joplin?
That's from Missouri. What
Man,
an
wouldn't that be
entertaining guess, though.
a blast from the past?
I love the guesses that just say Randy Standy instead of Randall Standridge.
Right. Charlene Spiteri. I don't know who that is. Is that a real composer? Is that a composer? Is that? Oh, I will say some of these words, and they will sound like words I shouldn't be saying. So y'all help me out.
Yeah, this is really good because I feel like the chat is like doing homework right now on a holiday weekend.
Dan
They're like looking up composers.
Welcher. I don't know who Dan Welcher is. Donald Grantham.
Oh, that'd be interesting. But I don't think that would be the person.
George Ensley. Mr.
Robert
White.
W. Smith.
Robert W. Smith has passed away. May he rest in peace. Fun fact, my mom, we lived in Troy, Alabama for a while, and that is where Robert W. Smith spent almost his whole career at Troy State University, and I'm pretty sure my mom went to school there, and I lived there when he was like in his prime, so I may have run into him and crossed paths with him because I was a little kid at a college with my mom, but I didn't know at the time.
I seriously cannot stop smiling. I really think I'm gonna try not to scream when it happens. So
Okay. All right. Yes. we will. Leroy Anderson. Now, wouldn't that be fun?
I bet everyone's playing that, right?
Oh my
I
gosh.
wish I could play Leroy Anderson. Unfortunately, I cannot. His music is a little hard for my band, but that's okay. So we did our post-concert. I had some ideas. Speaking of Christmas music, what do you guys do when a kid comes to you and says, I can't play this music because I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not allowed to play this. Or I can't play the Star Spangled Banner because I don't believe in this. Tell me what you do.
So I've had that situation. And really, it's just the biggest thing is just being communicative with the parents about like what is and isn't something that they do or partake in. So this kid, I really just give them solos from back of Essential Elements books, or I have like a whole giant pile of just different instrument solos that the kid will play or we'll stay after, we'll work on stuff. Same kid is doing our honor band. So we're working on honor band music right now. So it's just providing alternative things because they'll be able to perform in the rest of the concerts. It's just this upcoming one is the only one that it's like, won't be able to do that. So I do program some pieces that don't have any kind of affiliation. Mm-hmm. Like we're doing Meg Vinther's Snow on Snow. Mm-hmm. And then we're doing Robert W. Smith's Runaway Sleigh. So neither of which have anything. So can still rehearse a good chunk of the class.
Right.
I do try to program like winter-esque, or seasonal things to like, in case that would happen, or in case an audience member, I'm cognizant of that as well. An audience member feels like maybe it's too heavy on one side, right? Too heavy, not just like Christmas music, but just like in religion in general. Like, if I'm going to like do this, I'm going to make sure I'm doing like a Hanukkah song, you know what I mean? So I think it is tricky, but also, respectful, obviously, and find like an alternative assignment, like Mr. White said.
Anyone else?
I haven't particularly had to deal with that situation. I've thought about it. I've heard other people's stories about it, and it's usually when we explain the course of the class, we let everyone know what that is, and hopefully they would kind of bring up those concerns at the beginning. Not like, oh, hey, I've been rehearsing with you for the last 3 months, and now it's the week of the concert. And I'm going to say I can't do it because of religious reasons or something like, well, hang on a second. They would normally have told you that. But my community is very much, they would be upset if I didn't do a Christmas concert.
Right.
I really make it more like winter themed, and it's like, okay, we got to throw in at least one memorable tune
Right.
just so everyone can say we did. But the rest of it doesn't have to particularly be Christmas.
Hmm. True
That's
that.
kind of the boat I'm in too.
Yeah.
Like if I don't do Christmas, there it will be a revolt. I will.
Yep.
They will stone me at the Penn Square. So
I label it the winter concert.
I always do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's safe.
Hmm.
I have had students who are Jehovah's Witnesses who had said I can't play this, and in the state of West Virginia, playing the Star Spangled Banner is a CSO for us. So like a content standard, like we are to teach the Star Spangled Banner as part of our curriculum. So that's sort of a tough one for me because it's like that's in my curriculum. It's also like in the 6th grade curriculum to learn about world religions. So are they not allowed to learn about world religions? Just to throw some things out there. But I had so many issues with that. It was a lot of honestly a Jehovah's Witness community that was big in band for a while. So I just didn't want kids to sit out. So I just stopped playing Christmas music for my concert, and
Yeah.
it was just easier for me that way. Plus I love the literature that we have now. Like it's great. And honestly, the Christmas music is getting great too. And I'm a little sad that I don't do a Christmas concert because the last Christmas concert I played Randall Standridge's A Christmas Tale.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys know that one, the story about what's the demon of Christmas?
Krampus.
Krampus. Yes. That piece is amazing. Like if you don't know that piece, like you need to go check it out because it's got this narration to it, and it's like Santa the Barbarian, but like before he wrote Santa the Barbarian.
What level is Santa the Barbarian?
Depends. It's a saga. So like the first one, I think it's like he's even labeled like 1 to 1.5. The second one, which is what we're programming this year, the Pirates one, I think it's a 1.5.
Okay.
And then I think they're all 2 and under for that saga.
Yeah, I don't think they're
different
great.
options. I'm doing Santa the Barbarian with my 7th graders, and there was 2 different options for like a grade like half to 1, or then like a 1 to 1.5, something like that. We actually had the Santa the Barbarian mixed with the Pirates of the Caribbean one in our music library already. I thought it was a little too hard for my group, so I just did Santa the Barbarian. There's also like a Snowpocalypse version of that one too, though. I think it might be the harder one or something, but I had to go and download his like voice narrations and stuff too, so the kids really love that. They think it's cool. It's
nice.
spooky voice coming from the speaker in the back of the room. But yeah.
Right. Mr. Bergman's joining us. Excellent. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hello. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thanks for joining us. I might have to make our thing bigger. I don't know how I made it smaller earlier, honestly.
Yeah, it was great. I could like see people better.
When you click on the little like hosting button and it shows the guests that are currently in there and who to invite, then click that settings bar and you can choose to grid, and it'll automatically add as you get more people. But if you had it like drop down to 4, then there's only 3 or 4 places.
I got it. Yeah, I just want to be able to have people be able to see that they could join if they need to. 8 is our max. And we don't know when our guest is going to show up. So,
So someone in the chat said that their first concert ever is going to be like this week. So I just want to like clap for that person. I didn't catch their name. Your first band concert is like the best ever. You might be nervous, but like, don't worry. Like you have so many people playing with you. Like it's the best ever.
I remember we got the Save the Music thing through VH1, like where they come and bring you instruments. I don't know. And then we put on this little concert for like just so they could do some press about it. Our jazz band played, but then they interviewed some of our kids too for like the local news. And I'll never forget, I had this tuba player in beginning band and we were talking about our concert that we had just had, because I think it was like a couple days before that. And this little tuba player said, he said, yeah, we just had our concert. And afterwards, I never felt so alive.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, he's got it. Like, that's
Yeah.
it, you know, like, and that's because that's what you want. You want them to get that performance bug. And that's why it's so tough when a kid has to miss the concert. Because they're missing that experience. So I put in my handbook, you know, concerts are once in a lifetime.
Right.
Like, we cannot recreate this. This isn't like, oh, you get to come to another game, like another basketball game or something. Like, please make every effort to come to the concert. How do you guys instill that into your students?
I think I kind of like email heavy, like I do like a 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, like the day before, the day of, and just giving, even though we tell them in the beginning of the year, just doing that like countdown kind of makes them make the plans. But and I tell them in class, like, if you're missing a practice, well, usually for this first concert, the season is over, but you know, like, tell your coach, blah, 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 blah. But I haven't had that much trouble since doing that. And I write in the syllabus, like, they have to tell me a month in advance. And so if they can't make the concert.
Often if a kid misses, it's the parents, it's not the kid.
True that.
You know, we're going on vacation, or there's a wedding. Kids are pretty good about telling me that weeks in advance. So sometimes so far in advance, I forget about it by the time we get to the event. So I say, keep reminding me.
Yeah, it is the parents' fault most of the time. You're right.
Yeah, I have it in my my newsletter that I send out at the beginning of the year. But I do a weekly email with announcements and stuff like that, with reminders of dates and things. As we get closer, probably with, I would say, 2 weeks left, well, 14 days, which is actually 4 weeks left for me, I put a countdown on the board and they can see it getting closer. And I tend to remind them, like, you know, you've worked really hard up until this point, so you don't want to miss the opportunity to showcase your hard work with friends and family and stuff like that. I've only had a couple of students that have been like, oh, my mom's not going to let me come, you know, or something like that. But it's not, like you said, it's not them, it's the parents. So I've had it work out before that they have gotten to come, and then I've also had it where the parent didn't still allow them to come. But
I know, I usually just kind of tell them, you know, like, you've been working since, you know, especially the beginning band kids, this will be their very first concert. You know, it's like going to all the practices for a sport and then just not attending the game.
That's the same analogy I use.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing.
So, and then just make sure it's in their brain, like, no excuse, especially with the younger kids. But I'll do it with the older kids as we get closer. You know, I'll get up on my stand, they get quiet. I go, all right, question time. And they're like, okay. I go, what day is the concert? December 10th. What time do you have to be there? 6:45. What do you have to wear? Black and white. What else can you wear? And then we just go down the list. They chant it back to me.
Yeah, I have a band director friend who has like a chant that he does with his kids. Like, it's like to the tune of "We Will Rock You," and like the time 6:45. I don't know. It's a whole thing that his kids could do it. Yeah, when it comes to getting the kids to the concert, I tell them, I'm like, guys, like, my mom worked nights sometimes, and it was just her. And, you know, my dad worked away. They were divorced, but like, he would work away and wouldn't always be able to come to the concert. So sometimes it was on me to get myself to the concert. And I would use this thing called a phone book and open up the phone book and look for people who were in the band. And I would give them a call and say, well, hey, Mrs. Jurgens, can I talk to Travis? Hey, Travis, can your mom pick me up on the way to the concert? You know, just things like that. Like, I had to do so many times because I knew I wanted to get somewhere. So, like, you can either be proactive about your life, or you can just sit and let it pass you by too. So guys, you have like ways of contacting each other, like, out the wazoo at this point.
Right. I just want to add that the call time isn't like the time your car gets into the parking lot. Yeah. The call time, and I tell this to them, especially for the sixth graders that are new to me, like, the call time is you are on stage already, you know, put together, you got your instrument, everything. That is call time. So I just think, like, a good tip for like those in the chat that are listening, that who are teachers, is make sure you have that talk with them, because they'll just come Or if you know they're like late, right? If parents are usually late. My mom was definitely one of those parents that were just like 15 minutes late. And just tell them, a different
Yeah.
time.
I tell my kids, I'm like, whose parents are always late? And they raise their hand, and I'm like, all right, this is where you lie to them. I'm giving you permission. You tell them you have to be there earlier, just period, like that. Because I had to do that whenever my mom was around. I had to do that, and that's okay. Hey, she was doing the best she can with what she had, and like sometimes you just have to have a little white lie. Like, who all's gotten in the car and realized you need gas? Oh, now you got to stop and get gas. And I also teach the band director phrase, or just the phrase of life, I think, of to be early is to be on time is to be late is, well, my band director always said dead, but I don't know what everybody else's band directors always said, but
That's fine.
it is that season.
Well, someone in the chat asked that they were wanting to be a music ed major and what were any tips. And then I asked them, I don't know if they responded, but I asked them where they haven't visited schools yet. I think that's like probably, well, one, you make a decision that you want to do it, which this person has. And depending if you're a junior or senior, actually doesn't really matter. Like you should really go see the school, like go to one of their concerts or go into rehearsal. And really see, if you like the campus, things like that, and you want to go to a small school or a big school. I was surprised that I went to a very small school, but I just felt better there. I just felt like a better experience. But do you guys have any other tips to share to that person?
I'm pretty sure I could send several people to college for music, right?
Well, yeah. So study on your private lessons on your instrument and take piano lessons. Yes. We all know that piano is a big thing that'll weed out the music majors that freshman year. Yeah. Piano and theory, right? And if you have music theory offered, you'll go for it. Not every school does. Ours does every few years. They'll have a few kids that want to take it. So the choir teacher or orchestra teacher will teach it. But yeah, get on your instrument and a second instrument if you can, but mainly that and piano.
And I told my husband, I was like, when we have kids, they're going to learn piano.
Wouldn't that be great if every second or third grader took piano lessons before we got them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that would be kind of nice. Yeah, I tell my students who want to do music that, they need to obviously be taking every opportunity possible. If there's an opportunity to play in a community band, even get in that community band, do solo and ensemble, try out for your jazz band, do leadership positions in your marching band, try anything, be as in band as you can be. Also be in the choir, because singing is a huge part of music school too. And they don't tell you, like I had to be in choir for several years in college. Now I enjoyed singing, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me. But, some kids aren't ready for that if they've never sang in a choir. So
I think one of the biggest things that I tell people, just because it's from my experience in college, is if you and your applied instrument teacher do not get along, that kind of can harm your experience. Mm-hmm. Because that's someone you're going to see every week until you graduate or until you at least go student teach. So if you don't learn well from them, if you don't get along, it is kind of a make or break, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think visiting campuses and going to those honor bands, you can kind of test drive a music program by going to an honor band or a summer camp, meet the faculty, even try out the cafeteria.
Right.
I also counsel students that it's not permanent. I have a younger brother who now is a college professor with a PhD, not in music. He changed schools and changed majors and everything after 1 year of college. So it's not permanent. You can do what you think is going to be the fit, but it might not be the fit. I started as a vocal ed major. I was going to be a choir teacher. That didn't last long. But
Mr. Kaniso was a vocal ed major too.
Yeah.
I was really intending to go to college for voice, and they said, well, we can make it both. And I was like, I'm not doing college for 5 years. They're like, if you're crazy and can do 26 credit hours a semester, you can do both. And so I did, got it in 4 years.
That is crazy. I think that also people need to talk to people like teachers who are in the field who went to that college.
Right.
Like in the first few years, like wherever Mr. White went to school, like people should be talking to you about whether they should go to that college that you went to. Like, do you feel like you were prepared or as prepared as you could have been? Did you have a good experience? Was it a toxic environment? Was it a safe environment? There's so many things to it. Also, don't spend a ton of money going out of state or going to a private school because you're going to be a teacher.
Yep. Hey, that's what I did.
Remember, you have to pay for college. And
Yeah.
you can't just go where you want to go. Oh, I want to go here because the campus is pretty. So, I don't know about you guys. Mr. Kanaisa, you went out of state?
I mean, it's really close by to where I live, but yeah, I went out of state to a private college, and I mean, they charge something like 35,000 a year before scholarships, but I got more than half off, but still.
Oh, half off. Hey, Mr. Ashley's joining us tonight.
Hello.
How's it going? How was the show the other night?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was a very good production.
That's awesome. I've never seen that show, but I love Broadway shows. Oh my gosh, if there had been a theater program or a really good show choir program or something in my school, I might have taken a different path, let me tell you. All we had was band. That's it.
Wow.
So that's what I was in. But had there been different arts, I might have wanted to be a bad dancer.
Broadway is awesome. Stage productions are incredible. All that goes in them.
Oh yeah. Some of my favorite music to listen to is Broadway music, so I'm guilty. My general music classes, if they don't like Broadway shows, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's what we're watching right now. Like we're watching The Sound of Music, we're watching Newsies, so I am definitely big on that. So we were talking about what were we talking about? College, your college experience, and like, what do you think someone should be prepared to go into music ed?
Oh, piano's number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you don't learn piano, you're already behind. I feel like between ear training, theory, all arranging, all of those classes, you have to have piano, or you're really far. Yeah. Luckily, I had piano before I went to college, so that made everything easier. I feel like, but I mean, I helped so many people who were struggling. Mm-hmm. I went to a smaller college. I don't know, maybe compared to some of y'all, ours was pretty small, but I feel like I spent most of my time, and I made a good chunk on the side tutoring for theory and piano classes because I had that background knowledge. So if you get piano in before you go to college, I think you're already a semester or two ahead.
Oh, for Theory 3, I had to have 2 tutors. It was insane. I was so bad at theory. Oh my gosh, like the worst.
I remember my
tutors.
first year of music theory. Like they're sitting down, they're talking chords and inversions.
Oh man!
Right.
And as someone who had never done piano before, like I knew my scales. Thankfully, I knew every scale, so I was able to like brute force figure it out. But how do you know about any of that if you've never done piano?
I know. I just sat next to a piano player. That's like, and when they were like, "Okay, go to the boards," like we had these chalkboards all over that were lined, and he'd be like, "All right, go to the boards and build these chords." I would just go with the piano player, and I'd be like, "All right, y'all." Yeah.
I still can't tell like suspensions, like the whole like 4 5 9, 9 8, like oh.
And then when you get into music, when you get to teach middle school music, you're like, oh, it's pretty simple, when you think about it. And did you really need to know what
a Neapolitan sixth chord.
Right. I mean,
helps me transpose.
But also, it's the same argument you have about like taking algebra and geometry. You're like, why do I need to know this? Well, it's because it makes you a good problem solver. Right. And I argued with my math teacher growing up so much, but looking back, I'm glad I took those hard math classes, and I'm glad I pushed myself through that because I did become a good problem solver. Whether I can still problem solve those math problems, I can figure out world problems, like situations. I can figure out something because I sat down and had to figure out the stupid math problem. So I think that's huge. Mr. Ashley, do you have any, sorry, I stepped on somebody. Do you have any thoughts of who our special guest is tonight?
I have a hope.
I hope I don't let you down.
We know that it's a composer and they're from Texas.
Oh, so Texas rolls out who I was hoping.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was the person who lives pretty close to me.
And that might be something in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cedric said, Ermagerd, Eric Werdiker.
Eric Whitaker. That'd be cool. I think I know who it is, but I just wanted to keep it to myself because like I don't want to like like be so sad. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sad or not, or show not a good expression. Like I'm wrong when the person pops up.
I have
My
no
brush
idea.
with fame was I got to meet the John Jacobson, the guy who does he's the blonde guy who does all the dancing and singing videos for elementary music.
Oh, that was me when I got to meet Quaver. Oh my gosh, I love Quaver music, and I use it all the time with my students. Even the band kids, I use a lot of the things from it. And so when I got to meet him, I was totally geeked out. All right, another question. What are you the best and worst at teaching? And you can pick either right now. Like when you teach something, you're like, it's a concept. You're like, I can teach this concept and I know the kids are going to get it. Or I'm really bad at this concept and I have to teach it 600 times, 600 ways because I'm still bad at it.
So for me, what I'm pretty good at, especially with beginners, teaching key signatures and accidentals. So I treat key signatures like your starter Pokemon.
Teach me your ways.
Yes, Pokemon.
So they have their clef. And I go, all right. So the first thing you learn, obviously, is concert B flat. I'm like, if you are a concert pitch instrument, and I list who it is every once in a while, what starter Pokemon do you have? They're like, oh, B flat and E flat. And I'm like, clarinets and trumpets. You're not trainers yet, so you don't have one. They're like, okay, it's fine. It'll be our turn later. And then E flat instruments. I'm like, what's your starter Pokemon? F sharp. So then the first thing they learn is they start learning those concert A flats. So it's either they get new starter Pokemon, or as they start going down, I'm like, oh, you have an accidental in this measure. I want you to think of an accidental as a wild Pokemon. Now, does the wild Pokemon last the entire game? They're like, no, it only lasts that measure, that one battle. So then we start talking about that. So pretty good about that and getting them to identify. One thing every year is counting syncopation. They absolutely despise doing it. I do the toe tapping method, everything. Yeah. We do the up and down arrows. After a very long time, they can do it. But that initial, it's that thou shall not freak out, but yet they freak out.
I love the Pokemon. I might use that. For key signatures, I use like, and measures or whatever. I'm like, oh, your family's coming to visit for the weekend, but they don't live at your house. So that's accidentals for me. Like they leave after the weekend. But that seems to work okay. Anybody else have something they're good at or bad at?
I am. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say my strength was always sight reading. My choir teacher drilled that every single day. We had like 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week of choir. And we would spend the first 10 minutes every day minimum on sight reading. So when I got to college, I was like, I can do this. And then when I was teaching my students, I was like, we can do this. So I've got my, elementary kids singing and doing oral dictation. They listen to it and write it down, or they see it written and they sing it back. And it's like, my college peers couldn't do this. It's a really good skill to be able to sight read, because that just shows like your current level as a musician, not something that you've memorized or rehearsed a million times.
Yeah, I was just going to share that I love rhythm mainly because I struggled with rhythm. I didn't understand, no joke, I did not understand rhythm until my junior year of college. I struggled hardcore. And so, but that's actually what my strength is. I love showing them visually how to break down a like difficult rhythmic passage, and I do a lot of like visual techniques and things like that. But that's definitely one of the pros that I'm good at.
I was also going to say sight reading. My band director actually uses what she called the STARS method for sight reading. And STARS stands for like signatures, tempo, articulations, rhythm, and then signs. And so I have them write that down like on their paper, and we identify all the things in their music, and we go through it really slowly, but it allows their brain to like see all the things that I'm explaining. And then we talk about all the stuff. We actually go through and like airplay or air study all the things, and we play it. And then we go back and we're like, okay, now if we had looked at this for longer, what would you have done differently about this measure? Did it give you trouble? Or what about this one right here, or something like that? And we do that a lot leading up to like any kind of festivals and stuff like that. Like I'm going to be in charge of our second band at the high school in the spring, and so that'll be something that I try to incorporate every other day with them, even though I also see them only every other day as well. So yeah, but that's just something that I really struggled with sight reading when I was in high school and stuff. That was always what killed me in auditions. I was terrible at it. But now that I've taught it a bunch, oh, okay, this makes sense to me. I should have listened back then.
How many of you go to some sort of festival like is required that you have to sight read? Yeah. Okay. I wish we could do that because I love teaching sight reading, but I teach it in a very chaotic way. I'm just like, here's the music, let's go. Like, no time to write it down, no time to because I don't want them writing in the notes. Right. I'm like, right. All right, let's look at it. All right, let's take a look at the key signature, see if there's any signs, roadmap issues. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And most of my kids do pretty well as long as I'm giving them music that's appropriate for their ability. If I'm giving them something over their head, then of course they're not going to do great. So I think that's important. Anything else we're good at, bad at?
I think I fixate on the woodwinds in my beginners because that was my weakest area when I started teaching. I think my first day at college, they handed me a flute. I thought, what is this? And I hadn't met my wife yet. She's the flutist, so I had a whole year to struggle on woodwinds before I met her. I think
is she also a music teacher?
She's a university flute professor.
Oh,
she taught band for 4 years and went back and got her doctorate.
Wow.
She's my flute resource.
Wow, yeah. I am very good at teaching rhythm, I feel like. That's my number one thing that I pride myself in because, like Erica, I could not count until much later in my musical career. I guessed a lot, did a lot of guessing. I knew whole notes, half note, basic. But when it came down to really counting the music, my private instructor in college taught me how to do that. And so because I remember vividly going through that, I think that makes me a better teacher because I know what it's like to learn. When it came to reading music notes, I don't know about you guys, that was easy. I never had to write them in. I felt really pretty confident. And also I had a middle school band director, God bless him, loved him, but he sang everything to us. We'd be like, how does this go? And he would just sing it to us. And he would never be like, no, let's read it. And that's what I do with my students. And I'm thankful that, I'd learned and everything. So, but I'm not good at teaching key signatures. That's one thing I think I need to get better at. So I'm going to steal your idea, Mr. White.
I
need some improvement. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, for me, it's articulation. I feel like every year I try harder and harder and I miss someone. I'll teach it and I'll teach it a little and I'll focus more on it or on what I messed up on last year. And then some kid always comes through. And then I realized last week, oh, he's faking it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he got past me. And now I think I got through to him the week before break, but of course it's break now. So now goal number one is to find that kid. Well, I know where he is and make sure he's doing it. So it's just every year, it's the thing that I'm most frustrated by.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you've got a kid that can't tongue, there's nothing worse sometimes. Yep. I have a whole trumpet section sometimes. I'm like, guys, why are we so lazy with our tongues? Get it together. And the clarinets, the looks they give them. Oh, golly. They are like, why won't they tongue the Salin? I'm like, I don't know. I got nothing.
You made me think. I had a clarinet player about 3 years ago when I finally described how to tongue on clarinet. She almost vomited at the thought of putting her tongue on the reed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And she quit band. She was done. She only lasted another 2 weeks after that.
Wow.
Darth Vader in the house.
Here we go.
Or no, Darth Vader, not Vader, my bad.
Darth Vader.
I was going to say a weakness that I've found is I struggle with figuring out time management for getting my percussionists good enough. Because it's I'm always working on all the woodwinds. I'm working on all the brass. I'm working on all the music. It's okay, everyone gets to play together. It's oh, dang it. Percussionists, you guys good yet? Oh, okay. Right. Dang it. All right, I'll walk back there. And by the time you walk back there, the whole rest of the class is exploded into nonsense.
Yeah, just play with them at that point. All right, let's go. We're going to play with you. Yeah. Mr. Glader, good evening.
Surprise! The big surprise is here.
It's the composer we've all been waiting for
Hey.
from Ohio.
Yep.
Mr. Glader, we don't know when our actual surprise guest will show up or how long they're going to stay, but do you have any guesses? We know it's a composer.
Oh, Randy Spandy.
It's a composer from Texas.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
That was my guess too.
I have like 3 people. I'm trying to
All
like.
right. That's it. I'm out of here. See ya.
Okay, here's another question. Okay, then I get like super excited if I freak out. Sorry, guys. Is the composer also a band director? And if so, does that composer is a middle school band director?
I think they're a band director.
Okay, guys.
I think they are an active band director.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I may have to like look it up, but I think they are.
So chat, keep guessing.
I think it has been said once.
It is.
Oh.
It is running into Randall Standridge in the wild.
Yeah.
It's really cool because he lives like 20 minutes from me.
That's so cool.
And actually, his first job that he got, like teaching band, the superintendent that hired him came to my school and hired me. So I'm like, we have a But like, I'll see him. Like, I went to a musical a month ago and he was there. And I was like, oh, hey, Randall. We sat and talked for a minute. You know,
That is so cool. We've been wanting to get him to come to our honor band, but our honor band, it's like one of the busiest weekends of the year for an honor band, and he's like, yeah, I'm booked for like 5 years out on that weekend.
Wow.
I don't think he's
Good
done
for
our
him.
state honor band yet. He hasn't done our all state yet. We're just like, hey,
Yeah. So this year our honor band is Adrian Sims.
Oh, love him.
I'm excited for that. Yes. We have a little bit extra money in our thing, so we were like, we can pay for him to come all the way from Seattle. So, which is pretty cool. Mr. Glader, Darth, if you will, we are talking about things we're good at teaching and things we're bad at teaching. Thoughts?
And instrument-wise or what?
Anything, concepts, like, are you good at teaching kids to show up to the concert on time? Like I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything.
I mean, usually they show up too early.
Hey,
I'll take that.
at this point, I tell kids when I am getting there, and I said, don't get here before 5:30 because that's when I'm showing up.
My least favorite time is when they have nothing to do, before a concert and they're just roaming. That's my least favorite time. Once the concert gets rolling, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me think for a minute.
All right.
I too struggle with like percussion. I'm getting so much better at that. Like, how every year your principal asks you like, what are your goals? And like every year it's like that. But they're very understanding. And I think, like I talk to them, like, I apologize. I say, thank you for your patience. Like I say things like that, or like, progression. I think it's gotten even better this year. Well, last year I made sure that their space made sense. Like they have the whole back room, and I invested a lot of like money in their equipment and like just getting that space there so it feels less chaotic back there.
Right.
And then this year it does help because we have our Spanish teacher back there who's also a percussionist helping out. But I really feel for the percussionists, and I especially when they're in 6th grade, I tell them like, you have your thing in the first 2 rows, which is like usually are the brass and woodwinds. Like they have their thing, and they have the whole air and they have the whole tongue, and you guys have your sticking, and you guys have your treble bass clap, and you have your different techniques for the thing. It's like 2 different, like we're in the same world, but different nations. So I try my best.
Yeah, with percussion it's tough because like when they're a board percussionist is bad news. And so
I think I've gotten better. Yeah. I've gotten better at involving the percussionists when they don't need to be involved. So we're working on, woodwind articulation. My gosh, the percussionists are playing with us. And now percussion needs to help the brass. We do, number 64. So I just involve them all the time, even when I don't need to hear them. But the more reps they get, the better it's going to help them too. And I can still police their technique. And of course, as we all know, moving back there as often as possible, even if I'm working with the flute, standing by the percussion really helps.
Right. Oh yeah, standing back, just going back there.
Yeah.
Like when you're with another group, it's amazing. It took me a long time to get off the podium. I don't know why. Like I felt like I had to stay up there so much. But now I walk around all over the place, and it's okay. They don't look at you anyway.
That's a good thing to do if you can have an alleyway, just like an aisle in the center of the band room. So you can just walk straight back to percussion, or you can walk back to those trombones or whoever that have the phone sitting on their music stand, and you can go get them. I'm getting a mirror on the back wall of my band room.
Yeah,
To
smart.
be able to keep my eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
That is
I've
really
had
smart.
my group set up before with like the alleyway. I have my rows pretty widely spaced now. That way I can walk in between. I tend to wander a lot as I'm teaching, like, and I'll go back there and check clarinet pinkies and do this and do that. And at first, like at the beginning of the year, it's like the students have to remember that I do that. And they'll start like wondering why I'm like walking around but still talking to people over here even though I'm over there. But then they get used to it. They know that like me getting off the podium is not their opportunity to like start their conversations or whatever. And it gets better after that because I don't just stay in one spot. I have to move around a lot. But they get used to it, so it's fine.
Yeah, with beginners, I'm constantly running around, grabbing an instrument and going and playing with them. And then I'm like, all right, who wants me to play with them next? All right, I'm going to run over here because I teach them all in one big class. And they're like, please come help me next. You know, the saxophones are over there struggling with something. And so I'll be constantly moving around for that. My 8th grade band, I don't move around as much unless percussion needs help with something. Or I just want to go back and play the timpani because I love playing the timpani. There's just something about it that just makes you feel so powerful. Like, I don't know what it is, but
I just like to get off the podium and then have a kid go up there because they just really don't understand how different it sounds. So especially like if I have a percussionist, especially who is not playing a suspended cymbal roll to the energy they need, I'm like, trade me spots. And they're like, what? It's always like a 7th grader too. And they get up there. I'm like, okay, just you don't have to even conduct. Just stand there and listen. I'll even count off. Okay. So I'm gonna do how you've been doing it. We do it like, did you hear it? No. And they go, well, that's how loud you're doing it. Now here's how I want it. And then they're like, oh. And then the rest of the band's like, there's a suspended cymbal there.
That's me in timpani too. Yep. I do the exact same thing. I'm like, who can hear the suspended cymbal? Crickets. Or one smart aleck kid that's like, I can. No, you can't.
You have one?
Oh, thank you, JaDog, for giving looked like everybody got something.
Thank you so much for the gifts. Yeah, we're not very good at thanking those of you who are sending them. JaDog.
Enigma music.
Yes, thank you.
Going back to what Greg was saying about having like percussion involved, I would say that I always have all of the kids count when they're not playing. Like they're always counting. And I even told them, it's like, if I hear you counting in the concert, like I'm not going to be upset, like me personally, because to me, I just feel like you're doing your job. Like, obviously I don't want you to be going like super loud that everyone and their mom can hear it. But like, if you're just there, like counting to yourself, like I'm totally fine with that because like, I don't see how it's any different than a kid like stomping their feet because it's both just making like sound. But yeah, in rehearsals, I always tell them, I can't hear you counting. And then I said, I should not be the loudest voice counting. So like you guys, it's so funny when they play loud, but they don't want to count out loud.
No, they don't. Or I tell them, I'm like, all right, let's count in a SpongeBob voice. And then they love to count, like, when you tell them it's going to be something funny, they love being crazy. So hello, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, hey friends, how are y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
What is your name, if you don't mind me asking?
My government name? Is that what you're asking?
What do you want us to call you?
Antonio's my name, but you guys can call me Tony. That's what everybody calls me. Makes it easy.
Yeah, I couldn't remember your account. I've seen your stuff before. Thank you for saying that you've taught for 22 years in the chat.
My stuff is random. I'm not like you guys. You guys actually like take the time. I'm just very random on my TikTok. Very
Where
random.
do you teach?
I teach at a private Catholic school here in California in the Bay Area.
Add it to your map.
I've got California already.
Let's
There
go.
we
That's
go.
okay. We're glad we've got it. These are all our states. Anybody know anyone from Indiana? We need Indiana.
Oh yeah, we need Indiana. Where's all them at? Yeah. So
Well, thanks for
yeah.
joining us. We're just talking about like what we're kind of good at teaching, what we're bad at teaching, like after, the experience we have or
I'm bad at piano and I'm bad at strings and I'm a strings teacher.
Oh, we haven't even talked about strings. Is that something we're counting as a weakness? Because that's like a 0 here.
I can hold a violin.
Not even on
Yeah,
the scale.
no, my program was banned for a long time, and after COVID, it went into strings because my friend who taught the string program, she got married and left, and because of COVID, air and spit, things like that, parents were just not happy with that, so we transitioned to full string. So I'm okay on violin, cello's my jam, but if you ask me to play bass, it's not going to happen to save my life. It's not. But yeah, I've done it all. I've done elementary all the way to high school. I've done everything from marching band to drum lines, drum corps. That really doesn't help, but the drum corps. And then yeah, it's fun. And I'm like Miss Teaching Band. I follow her on Instagram, so I've seen her stuff there before she was on TikTok. And then Miss Allen, you too. I've seen your stuff for I think since COVID, so that's cool.
Yeah, it started right after COVID. Speaking of, so why did you all start putting band content out there? What made you go, yeah, I'm going to put this on the internet?
My students had been telling me about TikTok forever. They were like, "This is the new Vine. You got to check it out." And I was like, "No, this is stupid. Quit sharing personal information. Quit putting yourself out there. It's not safe. It's not smart, and you shouldn't be doing this." And then we had virtual teaching. And I was like, "I'm making all these things." And my first TikTok was like me singing a 3-part round for elementary music. I was like, "I'm gonna love this," and I posted it and got all of like 20 views. It's like, okay, I'm done with that. And
I started because I just felt like people need to start talking about band. I just felt like that was, like I said earlier, I just feel like band is in a new era, and I just wanted to just start the conversation, whether it be through content or I know a lot of you guys are really great at being funny. Like I just can't be like, I'm not that funny. I have funny mannerisms, but I'm just like not funny. So I try to do a lot of like storytelling, and just like putting it out there. And like originally also, when I had I still have my podcast, but I just wanted like kids also to know that like who look like me, that they can be a band director, especially since when I went to school, like I was one of the 3 people of color in that whole, program. And so I also did that, but that was like kind of like 2 main reasons, like, let's talk about band and like, you can do it too, kind of like, cheering on kind of thing. So that's why I started.
Erica, just a hot second. You said the other day that you went to Shenandoah. Well, like Winchester is where I go to Costco. So
I thought when you said that you were on the border, I thought that was like, oh my goodness, is she like, I forgot what it's called. What is
you don't
it?
have to say the name of any of the towns.
Okay,
So,
yeah. True that. But anyways, yeah, I was like, I wanted to, I thought in my brain. So now, yeah, that's really, really cool. That's
and
really cool.
I have definitely gotten recognized at that Costco in Winchester multiple times. So,
yeah,
anyway, and I go to
lovely.
And I go to SAI monthly meetings at Shenandoah with my alumni chapter. Any SAI sisters?
I am an SAI.
Oh, yay.
But
Okay,
I'm not
great.
in the alumni chapter, but like, yeah, I was.
Yeah. That's so
cool.
Anyway,
I've been finding so many connections. Small world, right? Small world.
It is a small world, and yeah, the Flying Baton's just an hour south from there. So really, that's pretty cool too. Anyone else want to share why they started doing stuff? I know Mr. White was bullied into it.
Yep, we brought up your videos every once in a while, and then they're just like, "You could be funny. You could do this. You could do this." And then I just eventually asked my superintendent. So.
Yeah, I did it mostly just because I thought I could like do some funny stuff out of it, and then the more I guess I like posted and like more stuff kept popping up on my feed, I was like, I should post like real things that we're doing in my class. So I have a couple of videos doing that, but that's like nerve-wracking a little bit because I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna hear it. Like I've got some clarinets that squeaked, or I've got some people who missed a note, and I'm like, that's crazy. But I'm like, that's the the reality of the band home. But that's kind of why I started doing it. And now I just kind of do a mixture of both. And it's so funny that my kids are like always like, oh, Miss Hamlin, I found your TikTok. I'm like, that's great. Can you go find the accidental that you've missed 39 times in your music now that I told you to mark 3 weeks ago? So
That is so funny.
I was wasting so much time on TikTok. I was wasting time, and I thought, I was learning stuff too. And there's just so many things that, of course, none of us knew until we jumped in and started teaching. I thought, why keep it a secret? I'll just share all these little things, good, bad, or interesting or not. Maybe it'll help somebody.
I was watching so much TikTok. I was like, it was dangerous. The amount
screen
of
time,
TikTok
like you look on your iPhone and see how much you've been watching. It's ridiculous.
And so I was like, you know what? And somebody came up and they were like, well, if you create as much as you consume, and I was like, all right, game on. All right, challenge accepted. Let's go. And so then it just started.
There's our guest right there in front of Mr. Knickel.
Yeah, look at that cat.
That's our special guest, composer.
I knew
Isla,
it.
come on.
I knew it.
How many cats you got, Mr. Kneisel?
We have 6 indoor cats and 2 dogs and 3 kids. And they all, aside from the kids, they all sleep in the bed with us at the same time. We had to upgrade to a king just because of the cats and dogs.
God bless you. Glader, you've been doing this a long time. Why did you start?
My students pressured me into it, and then I had been kind of doing some similar stuff on Twitter. Been posting videos, and I would tag like I did like a thing with my beginners called Slow Jam Wednesdays, and we would record like a pop song and then like try to tag that artist and see if they'd respond on Twitter. So it's kind of like a similar thing, but better now,
Yeah.
Is
Seems
someone
like
practicing in the background? I hear music.
Yeah, somebody's got music coming from somewhere.
Apologies on the weekends. I'm an art gallery director. So that's what I do because I'm only part-time at my school. So I have to
Fancy.
do what I have to do. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. I played 10 different instruments, and it started out with the alto sax when I was in 5th grade. I'm 22. Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Hey, alto sax over here too.
Do you guys ever think about the kids that you were in band with who like didn't stick with it?
Oh, for
And
sure.
you're like, and this is the thought that goes through my head, and I don't know why it's my thought. I was like, what did they do with their instrument?
Nah.
I wonder if I could call them up and if I could have it. Like, do you still have that saxophone, Samantha? Like,
Yeah.
my thought is, how much more money are they making than me currently?
We had one kid that showed up to our class reunion. It was like our 10-year class reunion, and he paid for the entire thing, catered the whole food, did all this. He's like, "Yeah, I own my own business. I'm a CEO. This is nothing." It's like, "Oh, I'm a teacher."
right. Someone says, I'm a single clarinetist. I don't know. Single.
Maybe
is there a
only?
double?
Like they're the only
clarinetist?
person in their
The
band.
only, okay. In my band, and everyone treats me so badly. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why clarinets get such a bad rap sometimes.
I honestly
own
think
it.
it's
You're
a
the only
Squidward.
one.
Yeah, that's tough to be the only one.
But I really think it's because of Squidward. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Kids embrace Squidward and think it's amazing. They're like, I picked the clarinet because of Squidward.
Oh, okay. Well, it could be.
I'm trying to sell my students on low brass. Like, hey, check it out, race car noises. Wow, I can play the VeggieTales theme song on tuba.
I love low brass.
One of the sessions at Midwest is how to get girls to play low brass instruments.
Interesting.
I was like, okay.
I think 3 out of my 5 beginner trombones are girls.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
I got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like having that conversation with students whenever it's time for them to pick their instrument because I'm a euphonium player. And so I'm all about like this instruments don't have like a gender that you should like follow and stuff like that. And I've worked at a district where one of the directors did think that, like, well, if you're flute, you should be female. If you're clarinet, whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I always, like, whenever we do that instrument testing stuff, we do it a little different at my school now than we did at my previous school. But I just asked them, like, which one they had the most fun on and which one they, could see them playing, like, the next year, because we test them at the end of their 5th grade year going into the 6th grade or whatever. And that's always a conversation I get for the tuba or whatever, like if a girl has a question about it, I'm like, bring it on. We got it. You can do it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think with low brass is it Kneisel? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Yeah, that's right. Kneisel.
I think with low brass, you kind of have to have a hook. I'm a low brass guy. Like I know my first instrument was saxophone, but I saw the light when I was a sophomore, and I went straight to tuba and bass trombone. And the one thing that I would always do for my high school, middle school, and even when I had my elementary kids, is I would take out my tuba and I would take out my trombone, and I would just start playing Seven Nation Army. I would start playing like Megalovania, whatever was like fun for them, and it just hooked them. Like I want to do that too. And it's just like, here, try it out. Like this. And again, you got to make those sounds, like the race car sounds, but once you get them to where you show like, I love this too, you love it too, and then me being in California, in the Bay Area, it's a lot of hip hop, so that really helps them to like, oh, I love this. This is such a cool thing to do. And and then girl low brass players, I've never had a problem. I've always had like a good mix of like tuba players, euphonium players, trombone players, and it was never like, if you're a girl or a boy. And I don't know if that's like a West Coast California thing, but at least I don't gender an instrument. It's like, you want to play flute, you can play flute. You want to play the oboe, you can play oboe. So it's to hearing that, and then I know I've been in Midwest Clinic a few times where I've been to a couple of those sessions where it's like, how do you get more girl low brass players? And I'm just like, wow, that's a thing. And it's just like, over here, it's just like, you just see it a lot. Like, one of my years teaching high school, most of my low brass players were girls, and I was kind of proud of that. I was like, yeah, I got a full sousaphone line of girls. That's what's up. Let's go. Let's do it.
That's awesome. I had a bunch of girls in 5th grade band last year play trombone. A bunch. I say three. It was half and half. There were 3 boys and 3 girls, but that was a bunch for me. And I had a mom who was like trying to get her daughter hyped up to play trombone because that's what she had picked. And I was like, well, first of all, she's already picked it, so why does she need hyped up? But the mom was like, I'm going to go all in. And she was like trying to get videos of girl trombone players to her so she could see, like, yes, you can do this. I was like, thanks, Mom. Like, some parents just go above and beyond, and it's so nice to do that, because like I feel like I have to do that sometimes, but if a parent does that, that's so much like less on our plate sometimes. I think that's great. I never had a tuba player that's a girl, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I've never had anyone interested.
It's gonna happen. I
had one who, like, on the tail end of COVID, like when we were still like spread out, she was like, hey, can I learn tuba? But we didn't put on concerts then. So like she might have, like, she went on to high school and ended up playing sousaphone in the marching band, but like I never got to have her like in the band playing. But
I think it's also important as you like recruit trombones and tubas and show them all the cool things that you have to program music that also will do that then. Otherwise, they're like, well, what's the point of the slide if I never get a glissando in any of the songs,
True that.
So you got to program that music, which can be tough. But I feel like composers like Randy Standy, make sure they give the tuba melody, So that's also a big issue, is that are we boring the kids with the music that we select for that section?
That is huge, because like in the fundamentals that you do in your warm-ups every day, probably most of your low brass people are doing the same things as your high brass people, but when they get their actual concert music, they see whole notes and they're not interested. They have to have something that's going to keep their interest. As a person who always sat on the back row, that's a big deal. And so I try to do that for I'm primarily over our 7th grade group at our middle school, and it's like, it's a glorious day whenever the trombones get the melody in something or whatever, and we make a big deal out of it. And we go all out. It's a big thing. So
yeah, we have arrangement of Last Christmas this year that features the low brass section, and it's only written for trombone, but I gave it to my youth and my tuba because why not? They
Why
can
not?
have it too.
I have done that so many times. Like we have an arrangement of Don't Stop Believin', and the cool part is in like the tuba, the bari sax. I will often give the bari sax part to the altos because all they're doing is dun, dun, dun. I'm like, altos, why don't you play something cool? Because sometimes alto parts are boring, right, Glader?
Oh man, I don't know. I've always dug at the alto.
So I will
power
switch up
mids.
parts all the time, like especially from bass clef to E flat. Like that's such an easy transition or transposition for them to do. And as long as you don't make a big deal out of it, you're like just read your regular clef or your regular key signature and just pretend like it's the same. It's going to be okay. If they hit a wrong note, you just figure it out. And I've often had, this year I have a French horn player in my 7th grade band who we were playing the song and the French horn part was so boring. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Can you take this alto part and transpose it and make it more interesting for yourself? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. She never even wrote it down. She just was transposing from the alto sitting
that's
next to
wild.
her the whole time. I was like, good on you. All right, great. Like some kids are like so much better than I am. Like I could not do that.
I love teaching sight transposition like that, especially when it comes to like alto to trombone.
Mm-hmm.
Just teaching them the trick of switching the clef and then adding or taking away 3 sharp slats.
It's one of my favorite magic tricks for band. I love it. Gosh, I had something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was now. We started talking about that.
We were talking about recruiting people to low brass and stuff. I like making those. Well, I hate decorating, but I've seen all of those bulletin boards where it's like, here's all the famous celebrities and presidents and what instrument they've played, because so many of them have been in band and will advocate for band as well. And then the other thing I do, I'm K-12, so I get to be the elementary teacher pretty much all of April and May. Every single day that I walk in, I have a new instrument for the kids. And the first 5 minutes are, I play something impressive, and then I let them do questions about it. And then a lot of times for the younger kids, I'll pretend like I forgot how to play it. I'm like, oh no, how does this saxophone work? And they're like, blow on it. They're like, no, not like that. And you intentionally goof with them a little bit. But then they figure out, how does the instrument make a sound? How do you hold it? What is it good for? And then you can, take requests. And they always try to stump you.
Yeah, I also have no issues with female brass, or even I honestly one year I think the majority of my flute players were boys. They just pick whatever they want to play, and I think it also helps, just me. They see me playing different instruments too. Like I just pick random ones every day. But yeah, I love low brass. If I were to do my whole life all over again, I would be a low brass player.
Oh, that's a great question. If we could change our instrument from where we started, I started on clarinet because it looked like a recorder and I could play a recorder. So what would you go back and start on if you could change everything?
Percussion. I know that one.
Percussion.
Mm-hmm. Euphonium.
Nothing. Saxophone's the best. Nothing.
I would have switched to bassoon.
I started on trumpet. I would have switched to baritone if I could do it all over again.
Yeah.
Mr. Bergman?
I'm a trumpet player, but I got to play horn in the second band when I was doing my master's, and I got decent at it, but I also learned when to hide and fake it at concerts. But I'd start over on horn if I could.
I would also start over on horn as well. Mr. Ashley, I'm guessing you would stick with the trumpet.
Stick with trumpet. It's the best.
That's a real trumpet player.
I'm a big trumpet love. I love it.
We know.
Which, funny enough, we're talking about our school is hemorrhaging trumpet players, which is funny enough because I pump it up on social media only because I really want our kids to pick trumpet. And oh my goodness, our 11th grade class right now, we started 40 trumpets district wide.
Yeah,
we have
nice.
one left. And that one trumpet left moved in from another school. It is so frustrating.
Tony, what do you play?
Me, primarily tuba. Yeah, but I think if I were to start over, it would probably be either bassoon or French horn. One of the two. Yeah.
Something different.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing, I don't know if this is something that's done widely across, but one thing that I do that I learned from one of my music teachers was I do like a petting zoo, like instrument petting zoo at the end of the year, and I would bring like local musicians that are either in the local like community concert band or local community symphony, and they would come and demonstrate these instruments, and like each kid would come and they would try an instrument, and then afterwards, if they were really interested enough, we would have like a 1 hour master class for beginners. So I don't know if that's something that's been done before, or if that's I don't want to say it's unique.
I've done an instrument petting zoo. I just started though, because I started teaching 5th grade band, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I got in trouble for it because now this year, my beginning strings, I have 22 violinists and 17 violas and 9 cellos, and I'm just like, great.
Somebody cares. There's somebody that cares. Like, that's great. Like, no one cares. Like, they don't know I have 16 trumpets in my 6th grade band, but
yeah,
I do.
I think that's great. I think when you're saying like 40 trumpets with Mr. Ashley, I'm just like, heck yeah, let's go.
Okay, so in the chat, sorry to interrupt. There's somebody who says, Mickey Bell says, I'm a former drum major and now a touring comic and trying to find ways to use our shows to raise money for band.
I love that.
Isn't that nice? See, band has such an impact on people.
Yes.
Thank you, Mickey. You'll have to tell us where you're going to be. I love a comic, and we have a casino near us, so your comics come there all the time. I saw, who's that guy? Trey Kennedy. I saw Trey Kennedy there. I don't know if you guys follow him or not. I think he got his start here on TikTok, so. But yeah, the instrument, like, balance, the balance of it is
That's triggering.
Hey, you know what? At this point, I'm all in. You can put 6-7 on my tombstone for all I care.
Look, I'd rather them say 6-7 than anything dirty and gross they've been saying before this. So I hope it lasts forever.
Bring it on.
Accepted the 6-7.
Embrace it.
So, but like, when it comes to the balance thing, like, I used to get so upset about it and like kind of be like bitter, be like, oh, I wish someone would switch. But like, they're going to switch when they want to, or like, I had a kid move from saxophone to trombone just because I showed them the glissando. Like, literally, they were like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. And now the kid plays trombone. I'm like, okay, great.
I feel like in beginning band, you just got to embrace it. Let them play whatever they want. Let them enjoy it. And you can fix it in junior high, like in your middle school type era, your 8th and 9th grade or whatever grade your setup is. But in beginning band, you just got to enjoy it. You just got to have fun. So do your best.
It takes a balance for sure. And like realizing that that's more time out of you. Like, okay, I'm going to have to take that kid, in lunch and get them started on something else and be willing to do that. Sometimes people don't want to give up their time, at lunchtime to teach a kid, because I'm going to be teaching 2 kids oboe when I get back from break, and I'm preparing myself for those days.
But now when you get to high school, it is important. You got to figure out some way to have some sort of instrumentation, and you got to give kids that ensemble experience, or
middle school deserves ensemble experience too. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying like beginning band versus playing in a group, and you're always, I don't know how you are set up. We're very homogenous, so I take trumpets every day. So it really doesn't matter. I'll teach 50, I'll teach 2. It doesn't matter.
We are all together in one big band, always.
I am thankful and lucky I've never done that.
I think that the beginners should always be in their own separate classes. Like, you should just have a separate class for each, at least small groups. You could probably put clarinets and saxophones in the same room at the same time, but, or trumpets and any treble clef euphoniums. Like, just put them in the same room, but in similar groups. And then, they shouldn't get together until after a whole semester at least. Or
imagine.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Wouldn't it be nice? I know. I've had parents volunteer to come in and like help with that kind of stuff. Like, I had a parent who was a flute teacher one year, and she loved to come in and help out the flutes. And I would be like, every day, thank you. Yes, please go with this amazing flautist.
You were talking about switching instruments, and I know Mr. Garcia made some really funny videos about that recently. But what is it about students who, like, They haven't even made it to their first year, and they're like, okay, when do I get to switch? When do I get to switch? I want to do something else now. It's like, you haven't even scraped the surface of your instrument first. Or like they get through 1 year, and they're like, okay, next year I'm going to be a percussionist. I told my mom I'm going to. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
I think they're just excited. They're future band directors, and like sometimes, like I had a girl who wanted to learn flute, and she played clarinet, and I was like, "Well, here's a flute. Here's a book. Here's a flute. Go watch my video, and have fun." And then she brought it back, and she's like, "Yeah, it's not for me." And I was like, "Okay," like because you don't always have the time for it. But like I was the kid who, if you handed me something, I was probably going to go figure it out. And there's tons of kids out there like that if you just got to figure out if you can trust them or not.
We had this conversation at my school the other day. What is the most, like, day one instrument teaching? Who gets the furthest? Like, what's the easiest to get started to play your first few notes? I disagree.
Saxophone.
I think saxophone too.
You spend so much time putting the reed together. The baritones and trombones have already made a note. I feel like it's got to be
your low brass people, or maybe even your trumpets, because all they had to do was put the mouthpiece in.
I feel like it's trumpet.
So many of the trumpets can't carry. They can't find even like the right.
Right.
They're lifting it up. They're lifting it down. They're puckering their lips.
You make one note on the saxophone, as long as it works, it works.
But you have to put the reed on.
I don't take forever I'll help them put the reed on it first because I want them to make that sound. I want them. I'll do whatever I can to get them making sound, and then now while you're putting your reed on, I'm gonna go work with these flutes over here.
Right.
Well, I would think the drum would be the easiest because it's just you're just gonna grab two sticks and bang on something. You're not gonna get in trouble for it. It's your job.
I make them start on mallets. They don't get a choice.
We do mallets for a semester.
Wow,
that's smart. I will alternate. Mallets are typically 3 days a week and then 2 days drum pad. And then the playing test is whatever is the hardest of the example that we're playing. So if the snare part is hard, the snare part is the test. If the bell part is hard, the bell part is the test. So
right.
They've been doing mallets for the whole semester, and I was like, hey, just for fun, here's a sleigh bell, here's a bass drum mallet. Just hit it with a steady beat. You just shake it like that. And they were like, how do I hit this with my mallet? No. We're doing something else.
Yeah, our concern is, of course, stick grip when we go from mallets to drumsticks, but that's the biggest thing because they no longer have to look at their instrument to play it.
Right.
So that's easy enough to add. Then we do alternate. Yeah, we do week by week. We alternate.
Do you guys have kids, percussionists that only want to play mallets?
Yes.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I usually have half and half.
Has set up an amazing culture, and all of our kids do nothing but practice their all-region mallet exercises while the band is playing, and it's pretty awesome.
Wow, that is impressive. You just got to with mallets. You got to give them fun things that they're going to want to play. Mm-hmm. I think melodies that they're going to want to sit and memorize. And
I mean, every kid's different. Our kids love ripping through scales and thirds and the exercises for all region. That's all they play, and that's all they want to play.
What else do you do in Arkansas? I mean, I'm sorry.
Hey, we got Walmart.
Walmart. We got Dollar General around these parts.
I'm just joshing with you, Mr. Ashley.
Oh, I'm sure Miss Frizzle's. Aren't you from Mississippi? Yeah,
I sure am.
So we always joke about Mississippi. In Arkansas, we always say we're 49th and Mississippi's 50th.
Well,
West Virginia is right there with you. We're like 48, so it's yeah.
And I married someone from Mississippi, so I can't say much.
Maybe we're all close to the Midwest a little bit, but not all of us. I'm not hearing many accents changing between our voices, so that's interesting. You'd expect a little bit more diversity.
Do you guys follow that guy who can figure out where you're from?
No.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome.
I want him to do me so bad because I've lived in several different places, and being in the mid-Atlantic area, I feel like I don't have an accent. But he's told me you're not allowed to say that because you do have an accent. Yep. So if you don't follow him,
caught myself.
Yeah.
He reminds me of that guy, that other guy who would find you based on your location. You just film around. Mm-hmm. That guy was cool. Or is it Monkey?
Jose Monkey.
Jose Monkey.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't tell that like Mr. White was from Missouri. Like, no clue. I
No,
could
it's
tell
always
you
really
guys were
funny,
from
though.
you and Miss Frizzle were from the South for sure.
Like I have a ton of the kids here that go, what was it? Oh my gosh. Oh, we were talking about balance and blend, specifically of like exactly how you tongue. Like we're getting nitpicky. I was like, how many of you say wash? Like you wash your clothes? And I was like, how many of you say wash? And immediately I had like 5 kids look at each other like, you say wash. And I was like, it's case in point. Like we're doing it slightly different.
Okay.
Like we need to get it all the, yeah.
Huh,
So-
that's a neat
I was
thought.
listening to the live before I came on, and my wife's like, "Man, Miss Frizzle, I think she's from near us. I can tell."
I wish I had a Mainer accent. Like, I'm hoping that a little bit longer, you know, only been for 5 years, like longer, that I'll finally get it. But like I want that thing, that Mainer accent.
Well, I grew up in deep Appalachia, West Virginia, so I probably had an accent more when I lived back home, but now I'm less Appalachia. Still Appalachia, but less deep Appalachia.
My Memphis accent comes out when I'm at school, though. I get pretty.
I will say, when I came here, like saying y'all, like they were like, "What is y'all?" I know,
I
it's
say
like
y'all
oh,
all the
wow.
time. Like instead of like people don't ever say boy, you know, don't say boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen, and I'm like, I say y'all. Like, is that wrong?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's get going.
Hey, Miss Allen, I think I'm gonna hop off here.
Okay, well, I think Mr. Poitras might be trying to get on sometime soon too. So
Yeah, is your special guest gonna text you because you don't have any spots?
I know. Well, I have a moderator on tonight. Thank Josh for moderating, everybody. And he's keeping an eye out for me, and he knows who it is, and is going to let me know. And also, my special guest didn't. I don't think he read my text about when I said, you know, we're from
Eastern.
7 to 10 Eastern time, and I'm pretty sure, you know, he's in Texas, so he was like, oh no. So yeah, he'll be on a little later than what we thought. So sorry, my apologies, but
I was only on for Randy Standy anyways, so.
one day later,
All
one
right,
day.
see you, everybody.
All right. I'll let you know about that. Bye.
Later.
I'm also going to have to hop off here, but I'm going to use an excuse of Mr. Ashley's bullying me because I talk funny. I'm kidding.
Oh, come on now. That's all right.
But this was so fun. Thank you guys for like having me tonight. This was awesome.
Absolutely. So glad you could come and join us.
Thanks.
We'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, I was when I found out what time he really could come on, I was like, oh wow, okay, all right. In the chat, they're like, "Where's Mr. Garcia?"
Yeah.
Well, it's already 7 in Central Time, so.
Yeah, 7:43. Yeah, it's 8:43 here. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like the only East Coast. Well, Erica, you're East Coast.
Yeah, she is.
So, rest of y'all are over in the Midwest or even California.
California.
I hired a guy to do my driveway today. There was like 6 inches of snow. He came with his bobcat and scooped it all up.
Yeah, I don't know what snow is, but I've heard great things about it.
We just get ice. We get lots of ice, and then we have to cancel school.
Ice.
I know, I like that. I heard that.
Hey, now, we don't talk about you.
That's the one thing we don't get in California is snow days or ice days. We don't. It's raining. Oh, poor you. Go to school.
Earthquake days?
No, I mean it has to be. It has to be like past 5 for anything for us to be like, oh, to be worried.
I guess you get wildfire days if you're close to LA because that seems to happen.
Yeah.
When we had that big wildfire in 2020 up here in wine country, like waking up, I'm like, oh, it looks like Lord of the Rings, and I'm in Mordor, and something. It just looks awful.
Right. Oh my
But yeah,
God.
we get that. We get fire days. I'll say that we get fire days.
Wow.
I have a question for everybody in the room here. How many of you are in like community groups or you're still performing? And if you do you invite your students to go watch you perform? You know, to kind of like they can see what their teacher does. Because I do it all the time with my kids. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go do this like thing. If you want to come watch, and they're like, what are you playing? I'm like, playing tuba all the time. Do you guys do you all do that as well? And we say
Yeah.
y'all in California.
We have
as
a
well, so
community
it's-
orchestra in our town. We're north of Wichita, which has, of course, a regular professional symphony. But we have a community orchestra, and there are, I think, 5 or 6 of us who teach in our school district music and other things who play in this group. So I always highlight that when it's coming up, and they have good student ticket prices, and
Nice.
they've done things like petting zoos or have a guest soloist.
Nice.
We've got community band. Funny enough, one of them I do with Randall Standridge. And then there's I do a gospel jazz band that tours around the area, so I'll do that. And yeah, I invite kids. It's music. Music is music. Go watch.
Yeah.
I play in the summer. I don't play during the school year, but in the summer I'll join like the summer bands. That's the community bands in the summer.
Cool.
I'll often
What
bring
about
my
you,
horn to
Mr.
school to
Knight?
practice after school if I have a gig coming up, and kids always enjoy seeing the piccolo trumpet or my bag full of mutes or odd things like that gets them interested. And yeah, just the fact that we're still doing it. Because people say, don't you do that all day? No. This is not what I do all day in my job. This is a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I used to play at church once a month, and I would invite students to play with me there, actually. But I haven't done it in a long time. My group that played with me graduated high school, so they are off to college. So I have to like find a new group of kids. So we have like a non-traditional, like it's not an organ like Mr. Knisel's church. We have a rock band. So we'll have a horn section that plays every now and then. But I think actually this is to blame a little bit. Social media is a little bit to blame on why I haven't done that in a while. But I'd like to get into that again because that's a lot of fun.
We do a rock
And
band
actually
too,
play
I
saxophone because I don't play trumpet because it's saxophone you can just pick up and play. I don't have to like have chops to get through it. So
We do a rock band too at our church, and I actually run it right now, so I have to.
nice.
It takes up a lot of my time as well.
I'm
It
the
does.
church choir director and organist, and then I'll take time and play the piano when they're during communion so they can say something over top of each person.
Nice. And Mr. White, what about you, sir?
I will sometimes do the community band at a local college, but I haven't the last couple of years. But it is something I do need to start doing again. I do miss playing.
You
Other
spend
than-
too much time at the school, I bet.
Ooh, we could talk about work-life balance. That's a good one.
Oh man.
See, I try not to
Love
take
that.
anything home if I don't have to.
The first year I decided I'm not going to take my computer home. I'm going to only do work at school was fall 2019. And then I had to take everything home in March
Oh,
2020.
bad timing.
So it was bad timing. Yeah. Because then I like had to reteach myself to do things again. I'm pretty good about it. Like if it gets to be like a certain day and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't send that email to the parents and I better do that now. I'll get my computer out and type up the email, or I don't have that handout ready for the marching band to go do the parade. I better get that done. And it'll just save my mind the next day. Like I'll have more time to breathe and think about teaching versus like, oh, I've got to get this done. So
One of
'cause I don't
my
know how much
favorite,
free time you guys get during the day, but
yeah.
I don't get a ton.
When you can schedule messages in advance, it's just a lifesaver. Just schedule something for every Sunday or every Monday before the week starts. You can have it typed up anytime you had some free time, edit it during that, but it's just sent on your own. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I schedule emails and social media posts of coming events or things I want parents and kids to know.
That is smart.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, I try not to do anything band related after school or Saturday during the day. Sunday, I'll typically do social media stuff, like all scheduling and editing videos and all that, and try and get it all done. And that way, I get my weekdays with my family, and
I can hardly stay more than a day ahead.
I mean, I've got two. I'm about to have 2 more kids. I have 2 now, so I'm about to have 4. So it's a lot at home.
It sounds like a lot. Like I said 2 because I didn't want to be outnumbered.
Well,
you can maintain that man-to-man defense. That's what we can do hard to.
Right.
It's funny because I have 2 previously, and then now I'm remarried. That was one reason I started doing social media. I was single, and I was like, okay, let me do this. I had a friend that did this professionally on the teaching side of social media, not band And she's like, man, band is so funny. You should do this. And so that's when I started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, then I told her, I was like, look, we'll have one and then that's it. And then God came in and said, here's two. So we kind of got stuck with four. Not stuck, blessed.
Stuck. Yes, yes. Exactly. You have to think like there are people out there who can't have kids, and like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it is tough.
George
Two
says
kids.
they're a middle school teacher and they're trying to build a band booster program. How do you build a band booster program? That's a good question.
Well, I would say
Can you just do that,
before
Mr. White?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we just started doing it. Basically, when we first tried to approach it, I tried to go too formal. Like we tried to get like the 501 C3, 3C, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, because at that point we couldn't do it because no one wanted to be official. Like no one wanted to be written down as a president. No one wanted to be a treasurer. So I was like, okay. And then they kept trying to get me to schedule all the meetings for them and stuff. And I was like, you guys got to realize this needs to be parent led. Ultimately, like that's the point of a booster group, is to take responsibility away from the director. So once I explained that to a couple of them, they're like, okay, we'll leave you alone. And I was like, okay, I guess there's just no booster group, unfortunately. And then this year, out of nowhere, like I'm getting my email blown up, my phone blown up. It's all these like groups, and this was the first year that every competition we had like a buffet set up for all the band kids. At marching events for Six Flags, they make sack lunches for us.
That's awesome.
So ultimately, it's pretty much just getting the group of parents that's like, hey, I would like to be involved. What is the best way I can be involved? And hoping that one of them will start taking charge, especially if you're like my school and they don't want to do it formally. They are super content doing it informally, and it just kind of passes on. Every year I have another parent or two that wants to help.
Does that start in your middle school or does that start in your high school?
It started this year with just high school, but I have a lot of them that have kids in both groups. So now I have some sixth graders coming up and they want to be involved. So they're slowly asking, you know, like, how have you been doing this? And it's really just them passing the baton. It's stuff I don't have to worry about. So it's been pretty nice.
That is awesome.
He said, how did you recruit them? Emails, shout outs during concerts? I would say the best thing that works for students also works for parents. Have an event with food. Have a meeting, offer them donuts or pizza or something. Just be like, hey, here's a snack, and let's talk about the booster program for your kids.
That's how ours first started, was we had the initial meeting and just had discussions. And then after that, I mean, it was just after concerts or in between songs, I'd be mentioning, you know, joining a booster organization. I had one parent that officially started it up. She made a Facebook page for the group. I was just going to have a concert this year, but she's like, what if we did like a spaghetti dinner? And we called it Spaghetti Spectacular and dressed kids up as waiters from Olive Garden. And they got cheese graters and they walked around and we had like bistro lights. I'm like, you do whatever you want. That sounds awesome. Keep doing that. So now she has like 10 parents coming in to help cook stuff. And the Facebook event is actually, it's a lot of people signed up to do it. So I was like, okay,
That's
let's go.
awesome. Mr. Poitras
Hello.
is joining us from 2 feet of snow.
Well, 1 foot of snow, but
All
Like-
the way from North Dakota. Now we're going to hear an accent.
North Dakota.
Oh, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Oh,
I love hearing your videos because I know I can hear your accent. And same thing with Miss Lechner. I can always hear her accent too. It's I love it.
Hers is Minnesota. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You know, people like to make that distinction really clear.
yep.
I didn't know there was a distinction. Tell me the difference.
There isn't.
Okay. Like I really thought Canada was in there too. Like
Yeah, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah.
I would say going back to the booster thing, like our district is trying to do that like throughout like, you know, K through 12 to have something like that. But if the person was meaning to do that because of like fundraising, I mean, you can do that before boosters. I know I've been doing that the past 3 years. Yeah, it's a lot of work on the director, but if you're trying to get funding, I mean, you can do it. And then I will organize it, but tell the parents to do all the food and the you know, concessions and all that stuff. Like for our first concert, we had like a bake sale. Like I just ask who's going to bring the stuff. They bring it, and then I am in charge of the money box, obviously. But besides that, like the parents do all the work. I just kind of like set it up.
Yeah. I'm going to come in from I started my booster program 10 years ago when I took over at my school. And there's a book that I've had for a long time. You could find it on J.W. Pepper. You can find it on eBay. It's called the Marching Band Program. It's Principles and Practices. But it gives you a great guideline of like developing your philosophy, developing your booster program, and everything else. Because this book has like been really instrumental for me in my program, because like everybody mentioned, you want to have like that mixer, like a mixer night. You have like food, whatever, you know. And then I remember starting my program, and I did everything like on Google Slides. Like, here's why we need a booster program. Here's what it's going to help you with your kids, and here's why it's important. And here's like the 5-year roadmap. Here's a 10-year roadmap, and this is where I want to take your kids, and this is the direction I want to have this program in. And when you do that, and you give something concrete to parents, it gives them a little breather. Like, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. This is how we're going to get there. And then I have a strong background in fundraising. I can fundraise like nobody else. And I always tell parents, I don't do cookie dough or candy bars. I don't do nickels and dimes. I do dollars and fives. So you have to, because it's like you have to, because it's like if you're trying to fix an instrument, it's going to cost a few $100. If you want a brand new, congratulations, Miss Allen, for that sonic cleaner. That's amazing. I saw your video. Yeah, that's awesome. But it's like the whole like spaghetti night fundraiser. I've seen many schools do it, and they make a ton of money. I do movie nights at my school, where it's just like it's $5. You come in, watch a movie, we have snacks, raise a couple $1,000, we're good to go. But but I recommend the marching band program, Principles and Practices, because it helps you with that, and it also helps you like how to like go into community engagement and how to have your community really support your program, even if they're not part of your program. And I think it's a really good book, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, I'm doing a series talking about it on my TikTok.
Okay, yeah, we'll have
for
to
the
check
next
it
few
out.
weeks. Yeah, but it's a great book. Yeah.
I used to do the cookie dough thing, and I got tired of it. And I found Double Good popcorn, and I've never looked back. I don't know if anyone sold Double Good popcorn.
I've done it. Yeah.
It is the best fundraiser of all time, and there will never be one to be better than it. And you don't have to do anything. You just share stuff. That's all you do the whole time. It's an app, and it does itself. And this past year, we made $11,000 in 4 days.
Nice. Wow.
Last year, we made $12,000 in 4 days. The year before that, we made $10,000 in 4 days. And that's like 75% of our budget for middle school.
Yeah.
Middle school, we don't need as much. I understand high school is such a bigger, budget. Absolutely. So,
What was that called again?
Double Good popcorn.
Yeah. I have to ask Mrs. Allen, do you give like incentives to your
Yes.
students? Okay.
Yeah. So, it's all on the app. And so I say, if you've sold $200 worth of popcorn, you get to go to an ice cream party. So during one of the class periods of the day, I have some parents come in and host an ice cream party. I'll go buy the ice cream, and we'll have that. And then if you sell $300, this year we're doing a field trip to Chick-fil-A, because we have a Chick-fil-A in our town. And we did a spirit night to raise money for food, only for food. So not for money. So to pay for the food for the kids to eat at Chick-fil-A. So it was like a lunch field trip to Chick-fil-A. And I'm taking like 30 kids to Chick-fil-A for that, because they really wanted it. And then the big prize, if you sell like $800, I think, or $500, I don't know what the big prize was, you get a ticket to Hershey Park. And so with our end of the year trip, we always go to Hershey Park. And, you buy so many tickets, you get free tickets. So I'm not really buying those people tickets to Hershey Park. They're getting the free tickets that we get. And our band is buying the tickets. And then I actually open it up to my whole school. I'm like, who wants to buy cheap discount tickets to Hershey Park? And I have teachers who will be like, oh, yeah, I'll get those discount tickets. And then we get the free tickets, which we give to our prize winners, which I had a girl sell a ridiculous amount of double good popcorn. So I'm giving her whole family tickets to Hershey Park.
Nice.
So
Has anyone ever done the texting fundraiser?
Texting?
our high school has done it.
We did it this year for the first time. We made $11,000 on pure profit. And all we did was the kids typed in 10 numbers they knew. And it sent a text and it said, hey, would you like to donate to the band program?
Oh, it's so
$11,000
good.
in like 5 days, and that's
so
all we
good.
did.
Did you do any incentives?
Yeah, I think the winners get to eat lunch in the band room with the band directors.
We did that
Oh,
twice.
I have
The five
I
kids
should
who
have
raised
came
the
to you
most.
guys earlier. Oh my goodness.
So we gave up one lunch day. We're going to do it next week.
Oh, man.
Mr. Kaniso, what were you going to say?
We did the texting thing twice. One time we got quite a lot, and then the other year someone else had already done something similar, and we got $20. It was not a good deal.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
agreed. No food in the band room. That's my rule. I have carpet though. Anybody else have carpet?
No, I wish. I hate a hard floor because it's like I need carpet to absorb the sound. I had a good friend. He had to stop teaching after 31 years because he developed really bad tinnitus because his band room was just completely like concrete floor.
Yeah,
And it's the
I am
worst.
so thankful for my carpet. At least I can hear still, and I can hear mistakes. Like when you have an echoey room, it's hard to hear mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We have
And I
this
can
like
hear
rubbery
every
floor.
mistake in a carpet room. So,
I've been using
They're
earplugs
like a
more
soft,
lately.
rubbery floor.
where did Mr. Poitras go? Did he just like walk out of frame there?
Yeah. I'll tell you. We just did a pie fundraiser with Nation's Pie at my school, and I only gave one incentive, and I said any student that sold 10 or more pies gets to throw a pie at the last name's Escobedo, so I have Mr. Escobedo's face after the Christmas concert.
Nice.
There's 23 kids that are going to be throwing pies in my face in front of everybody at the Christmas concert.
That's fine.
That
So-
is good on you. I can't do public humiliation like that. Making TikToks is enough public humiliation for me. Like
Yep.
we
Hey,
do
make
that
it
stuff in our
a
school
TikTok.
all the time.
Make sure you record it.
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
be. That's why I usually don't have a full beard, but I've been growing this beard for this specific reason.
It'll catch some.
Yeah.
You got to be such a good sport for that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I do it all. I've done dunk tanks with the kids. I just like, it's like doing the lunch is fun, but it's just like giving them something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives, especially if they're elementary school. Like, I remember when I was 6 years old and I got to throw a pie in Mr. Escobedo's face. I'm like, that's cool. That's a good memory. That's a fun memory.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I got to go get ready for my next Thanksgiving gathering, which is tomorrow. So
Way
we'll
to
see you all.
go. What number is this for you?
Oh, this is the second official one. Of course, we haven't stopped eating in 5 days. So.
Hey.
All right. We'll
Good
see
luck
you
in
later,
December,
Greg.
everybody.
See you,
ya.
Mr. Bergman.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Brigman.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So who all has a concert coming up in the next few weeks?
I think mine's
Parade on
Wednesday or
Tuesday.
Thursday.
Exciting.
We have a parade Tuesday and then the concert the next week.
Parade on Tuesday. Our parade is next Saturday. So,
Oh,
If it was a Saturday parade, I'd say no.
I get paid on Saturday, so I will say yes.
Oh, well, then I would say yes too.
nice.
So, I get paid for things like this. Like if we have required band events, like this is like our Christmas parade is required for us. So anything that's required, like we have to get paid for, and we have to. The county has to pay for it. Like they have to have a budget of money to pay for any transportation
Wow.
to it. Because we had directors a long time ago be like, all right, well, I guess we're not going to the parade. And they're like, what? Why? And they're like, you're not paying us.
Right.
And it took a director saying those hard things for them to say, oh, okay, I guess we will pay you, and I guess we'll do this. And I'm so thankful because, like, I wouldn't want to do it if I wasn't going to get paid.
This
That's
particular
something
parade,
you
our
need.
county has said $250 entry fee. And every year we say, no, we're not going. And they say, okay, wait for y'all. Wait for the band. Wait for the band.
When you
That's
start a
awesome.
new position, you need to be able to ask, like, okay, what's the requirement for pep band? And someone will say, oh, yeah, we only ever do like 6 of the games, 3 girls, 3 boys games. And you're like, they told me I had to be at every single game and no pay. It's like, no. Check the contract. Let's get that figured out.
Yeah. I got a question before I go. Since we're all gathered here, is this considered professional development? Because if it is, I need to let my principal know.
Right?
I'm not
It should be.
accredited. I'm not accredited, but
We're here aura farming instead of getting PD.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly.
oh man, if you guys, if those of you in the chat, follow all these creators. They're funny and they make good stuff. So please go follow them. All right.
There's a little plus button next to their face.
Yeah.
Yes,
Don't
tell them how
follow
to
me
do
on
that.
nonsense.
I can't. I don't think
No,
I
you're
can do
not.
that because technically you all have to. I have to be following you in order to let you hear. I think, or you have to be following me or something. There's a
Yeah.
whole system.
Yeah.
So
But anyways, I also have to go to a Friendsgiving. So have a great evening, y'all.
Yeah, it's nice meeting
Goodbye.
you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
all in real life.
joining us,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah. Take care.
Don't be a
you.
stranger.
I need to follow him.
We'll see you later.
See ya.
Yeah, I knew I was missing people. Like, in that group chat we have, that's the maximum amount of people that can be in a group chat. So, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I know.
Casey
when the
says,
guests
"I'm
coming,
here."
They're coming soon. They're going to be here soon. All right?
It's like those live streams where they're like, "All right, I'm gonna pop the balloon. I'm gonna drop it.
Oh, those
Any
are so
second now."
bad.
Oh my god.
I can't handle that. I remember when I first started wanting to do lives, I was like, well, let me watch some.
Oh, they're
See,
terrible.
Let's
Yes,
see,
they're so
Live
bad.
has so much bad.
well, let's see what they're like. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I can do this. I put on a show in front of kids all day. Like,
Yeah. The beginning and the end is like the most stressful, I think. It's like making sure you hit the right button. And especially if you're using something like StreamYard, where you have to make sure like everything is connected in. But yeah.
yeah, when you do it on YouTube too, it like automatically uploads. So it starts with whatever you've said at the beginning. Like, are you standing up? Are you sitting down? Are you
Yeah.
messing with your camera?
Usually
Like,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mr. White, I told the GC about the 10K fundraising. Are you raising? Mr. White, I think 50% of the kids in the chat are in your band.
Usually how it goes. They
They're popular.
I usually tell a couple of them, like, hey, I'm going live, and then they take care of the rest, which is funny because I only have like 120 something band kids.
Wow.
Oh, that's 6 through 8 or 12.
6 through 12. Yep. And
Yep.
then usually, I think there's been like fifth graders in here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to.
When does
You
everyone
need to get
start
off
meeting?
TikTok.
We keep it PG here. We're
Yes.
keeping, positive content. I always
Minus
try
when
to.
you're showing us your hand sign for West Virginia.
Other than that, yeah, somebody did catch that and create a TikTok about that last time. But like that's what we do in West Virginia. Like that's how we show people where we're from. Just like Michigan has the mitten,
I'm not familiar with the West Virginia hand sign. I'm clearly behind on this. Oh,
Oh, okay.
gotcha.
Screenshot.
Oh, now I understand
I'm from
that
here.
comment.
And
Now.
Yep,
got it.
yep.
I
Got
grew
it.
up here. I grew up here though, in the mountains.
Who lives at the
That's
top?
where I live. Yes.
Yeah, who lives at the top?
This is Hancock Brook, Ohio. The counties. I can say all the counties in West Virginia. Can you say all the counties in your state?
Nope.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Let me tell you, the one thing that they breed into West Virginians, like when you go to school here, is they want you to have pride in your state so that you will never leave.
Hmm.
Are there 13 counties in West Virginia?
55.
55.
And I know them all because I teach them all. We have West Virginia history. You guys have state history? You guys have to take? Yeah.
Ours is, I think they teach it in fourth grade.
They teach it in 4th grade and 8th grade where we are. You get the place. So there is so much to do in West Virginia. Stop it, Mystic Blade.
I think in
There
Texas they only teach Texas history, no other history.
I bet that's probably true. And the 10 Commandments.
Infinity stones.
And the 10 Commandments.
I mean, right? Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
It's so funny. The chat is being funny right now.
Someone said she's collecting them like infinity stones.
Yeah, I read that one.
Collecting? Who's collecting what?
You're
collecting
the
band
rings.
directors.
Guys, like I stumbled into this. Like when people, like the other day on Mr. Kneissel's live, when you were live with Mr. Glader and Mr. White,
Yeah.
He said something like, "Oh, it's Miss Allen's world, and we're just living in it." I was like, "Oh my gosh, stop it right there!" Like, guys, just because I make more, like, I'm just chronically doing this. That's all it is. Like, anyone could do it.
Yes.
I don't know what
Yep.
I don't know what it is
And
about
that's
me.
other than being just, likable and finding a good niche and staying in your lane, it's a quantity game.
Yeah.
You can make really, really high quality stuff and nobody's going to see it, and you kind of have to just make ridiculous amounts of high quality content.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, I
And
did.
some
Yes.
of it.
I do listen to a good amount of content podcasts, and for a while I was in a Discord group for YouTube creators, but then I was too cheap to pay the $5 a month to stay in it.
I mean, it's real.
What was the? Oh, here we go. We got a question in the chat. What was the hardest instrument for you guys to learn? Asked by Drakakakara.
Mine was French horn because that was the semester that I broke my 2 front teeth.
Ow.
So I got these put in probably 3 days before my French horn final, and I passed with an A.
They felt bad for you.
Bassoon, which I actually figured out how to play bassoon now, finally. I have a video coming out about that on the 15th.
I feel like you have to have 12 thumbs to play the bassoon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have giant hands too. And
Yeah,
I played Go Tell It Roadie.
I cannot play. My hands are so small. My hands hurt playing the oboe. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you
yeah, it's
actually
all like-
take there's like a knob on the bassoon I didn't know that you can actually take, and then your hand will fit over it. Like I just, small hands.
I found out when I was looking for that timpani video, I found one of me playing the bassoon as well.
Ooh. Can't wait for that one. See, you have, like, you Gen Z have your whole college experience on video. Like, there is a DVD out there of me of me conducting a band. Like, that's it. a DVD that I have no DVD player anymore to even show a DVD on. So
I found a video from my student teaching, doing high school band, and I hadn't watched it since I was a student. And so this is interesting. I hit play. I had to delete it about 15 seconds into watching it. Just so bad.
That was me watching a video from my very first Christmas concert. I talked at some point for 2.5 minutes straight in between 6th grade pieces.
Oh no!
Like, we're talking like we went from listen to our sections, 2.5 minutes of me talking to Jingle Bells.
Oh, listen to our section. That one has a repeat. At least it has a repeat.
Uh-huh.
I don't even turn around in 6th grade. I'm like, I stay with the mic. I'm like, and here's the second note.
Now I don't.
Oh,
Once I went back and
here's the
watched how much I talked, I told 6th grade, I said, I'll get off after 4 songs so the percussionists have time to switch. And then we do 4 more songs in the book. And then this is my first year that I'm having 6th grade play sheet music. So they're just going to do Mechanical Monsters at the end of
I
it.
love that one.
We're doing that one too.
Mr. Nesmith is here in the chat. I don't know if he wants to join.
Excellent. Well, I mean, he can ask. I'd love to have him. Here, I'll invite him. Nesmith, I've been practicing. Let me tell you, on the daily, I've been practicing his name, Nesmith.
I found the picture after we were live of the Toy Story 1 movie when Buzz Lightyear's like, I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Yes, I thought the same thing too when he said that. There he is. He's joining us. T-Man never got to play Mechanical Monsters. Neither did I. But when you become a band director, you can play whatever music you want.
Correct.
So, did you get to play Cold Hearted Snake by Paula Abdul, arranged by Paul Lavender? Probably not.
What's that?
So, did you get to play an arrangement of Surfing USA? No, probably not.
That was probably like
Mr.
new music
Nesmith.
then.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I gotta turn on
Thanks
some
for
more lights.
joining.
In here. Hey, I heard you guys talking about bassoon.
Yep.
Actually, I got some stories about ways to actually make that like play easier.
We lost
I can't
him.
hear you.
How about now? Is this good?
That's better, yes.
Okay, so I'll put my AirPods in a second. So I have a very, very petite bassoon player who is probably the most incredible bassoon player I've ever had. She's awesome. She knows more about bassoon than I do. Last year, she was like, Mr. Nesmith, I'm trying to get G in tune, and I looked up 3 different fingerings, and I want you to tell me which one is the best one. And I was like, I'm going to stop you right there. You already know more about me on this. So when she was a 6th grader, she had a lot of trouble reaching. So our local repair shop was able to fabricate a plateau key for the left ring finger. And the bassoon that we had at the time wasn't designed for one. They just made one. They're like, cool, yeah, we'll just make one. And they made the plateau key and put that on there. And then it was great. She could play it just fine. And then the next year, I was able to get some funds to get her what's called a short reach bassoon, which I had no idea what that even was, but it's specifically designed for people with small hands. And it's great.
I need that. That's the bassoon I need.
Yeah, it's I forget. I have to look up what the brand name is. But yeah, it's called a short reach bassoon, and she's just absolutely crushing it. She's playing all her scales in 2 octaves now. I didn't teach her any of that. I was like, when did you learn all these scales in 2 octaves? She's like, I don't know. I just figured it out.
I still have a picture somewhere. My bassoon player, she had won Homecoming Queen on Friday, but we had a concert on Monday. So she came in Monday with her nails still done, and she has her thumbnail tucked under with the whisper key. Like, so that's how she played. She still played, but her beautiful done thumbnail is tucked in under some keys on the back. It was
Perfect.
so funny. She didn't want to get them take it off.
I have only ever had 2 bassoon players ever. In my middle school. When I taught high school, we had bassoon players, but in the 18 years, I've only had 2, and one went on to major in the bassoon.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
Miss Flint's in the chat. Hello, Miss Flint. Something big happened to you today. I wish you
Yes,
could tell
congrats.
us all about it. I don't want to spoil it though.
Right.
So
I think we all know now.
but it's okay.
I have a bassoon story.
Okay.
And so I had only one bassoon player so far in my teaching career. And he was a string bass player in the orchestra. It came to me. I was my first job.
Mine was a bass player too.
Yeah. And he came to me first school, first year, and was like, I want to play bassoon. And I was like, cool. Like, I'll go see what I can do. I asked schools in the neighborhood area, like, get extra bassoon. They said no. You know, I asked my principal. He was like, oh, I don't know. Because how do we know if he's going to stay on it? Like, should we really invest in it? I do not suggest this, but I spent my first 2 paychecks on a bassoon. But the good story is that he stuck to it, right? And when I left that school, he returned it and I sold it and I got my money back. But it was wild. I would never suggest it, but I just really wanted this kid to play, right? To have access to an instrument. But that's wild story, but it turned out okay. He went to college. Was going there for law, but went on a scholarship for bassoon. So bassoon players out there, you don't have to major in music to play the bassoon. They will give you money as long as you play in their band. But yeah, so that's how he was able to pay through college.
Well, I guarantee that you are not the first person to buy an instrument for their program, because I know people who have done it. I know someone who bought a marimba for their program.
Whoa!
My band director bought my trumpet. I still play today.
Nice. See, kids in the chat, we sacrifice a lot for y'all.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Oh, Miss Flint and somebody special might be joining her. Not our guest, but this is something
I'm loving
else.
I'm loving all the stories that we're doing, and that's all we're doing here is sharing these awesome stories. And I love being able to tell one from time to time on the podium, right? But I was standing up there and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, when I was in high school and one of the girls stopped me, she's like, hey, Mr. Kneisel, are we going to talk all day or are we going to rehearse?
Right? We can finally do that. All right, Miss
student.
Flint, you're joining us. And what's his last name?
Green.
Green, that's right.
I just saw on Instagram.
You have something to tell us, right?
I will be having a rebranding soon. We are finally engaged.
Rebranding.
Yes. I love that. Rebranding. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I wanted to hop in for a few. We're actually at some family right now, so we'll be hopping off in a second. But I did want to get on and say hello.
Hey, Mr. Green, on you, doing this without a holiday. I mean, without a gift holiday, you must be, yeah. Is her birthday soon? What's going on? Like,
it's actually my birthday soon. So this is, yes.
I'm the gift.
Okay.
Yes.
Proposed on my birthday.
Let's just say I've had to do some extra penny pinching the past couple months, eating some ramen noodles, all the things that we've had to do.
That's right, as you should. That is okay. What do you guys have a date set?
We're thinking about May 1st. We'll see, of 27. Maybe.
Maybe. Got lots of time. Nothing but time.
What I need.
Well, that's exciting. And Mr. Green is also a band director, if you guys don't know.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
He's got a little bit of content out there, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Couples page coming soon.
Yeah.
You never know.
Hey, just crank it out there and you could pay for your wedding, like.
Yeah. Go post something real quick.
You should get a group of band directors to come and play at your wedding. Aw, that would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
And you are our third Mississippi director, I think.
I think so.
Right? I think Miss Williams and Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, they're both.
So both Mississippi.
So 3 and 4.
And Miss Williams actually teaches just down the road from me, so she's not far away from me at all.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. I love this. I have never been to Mississippi other than like a layover I had one time, so I'd love to visit. So I'll have to come see you guys.
In most parts.
You're wearing a sweater. Is it cold?
Right now, it's cold to me. It's probably 50, 55. That's pretty cold.
Yeah, not cold.
That's t-shirt weather for me.
Yeah.
I'm happy the Southern accent is back in the chat now.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm not
it
the only
is.
one.
Yeah. What part of Mississippi? You're in the southern part, right? Near the coast?
Yeah.
On the coast.
And I'm in the north part of Mississippi.
For now.
For now. We got to get you a job closer.
Yes.
Someone is in your class. Someone says Amelia.
Yeah, I gave her a shout out.
Okay. There you go. Did the Flying Baton buy a marimba? Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh yeah, I've had this guy since 2008. Yeah.
You play it every day?
No, I always tell my students, I was like, truth be told, I don't play that much during the school year.
Right.
Because you listen to music for 8 to 10 hours at your job, and then I go home and I don't want to listen to music anymore. Like a lot of the times, I need a break for my ears. And that's why I like gaming, and obviously hanging out with my 5-year-old. But yeah, it's just sometimes my ears are tired. Like I used to listen to music in the car all the time. Now most days when I go from work, I can't listen to anything in the car. I need a reset.
Yeah.
Anybody else feel the same way?
Yeah, my choir colleague is 10 years younger than me. And so this is his first and only job. And so when he started, I told him there'd be a day where he would drive home in complete silence because he had about a 20-minute commute at the time. And he's like, that's crazy. I listen to music all the time. I love music. That's why I became a choir director. It's like, just you wait. And I remember he walked in one morning just straight-faced. It's like, it happened. I drove home in complete silence. I even sat in my driveway in silence for another 10 minutes before I went inside. I said, you're one of us now.
Nice.
One of us. I was assistant director, and the main director said, I don't listen to music. I listen to talk radio. And I was like, what? No way. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah. Silence.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
I have to bring 3 kids home on the commute.
Speaking of, if you guys haven't, I listened to one of the Flying Batons podcasts the other day on the way home from dropping my dog off somewhere, and it was a master class on the flute. The one where you interviewed Helen Blackburn.
Oh, Helen Blackburn! Oh, she's great.
Oh my gosh! I want to watch the video of that now because I was in the car going trying to do what she was telling with the flute, and I was like, golly, I really want to see what this is happening. So I meant to post it in the middle school band director Facebook group too, hey, if you struggle teaching flute, you should listen to this because man, oh man, she is so specific about things, and and that's what you need when you're teaching. You need those specifics, and I struggle teaching flute so badly.
Yeah, I mean, so my conversations with her, and we did a lesson at Midwest. She had done a session on flute at Midwest, and I went up to her afterwards, and I was like, "Can we have a lesson like today?" She was like, "Sure." And we just found like an empty room in the hotel, and she gave me her flute. I was like, "Cool,"
wow.
and we did like an hour lesson, like impromptu out of nowhere.
Wow.
And I was like, "Everything I'm teaching my students is wrong. Oh my god." So I just took all that knowledge, and it literally revolutionized how I teach flute with my kids.
Yep.
And like now, usually when we have like all district bands or regional honor band, like half the flutes are mine now. And I don't think any of that's me. I think it's literally all, I just do what Helen told me to do. And they have such an easier time playing throughout their different registers and their ranges, and their tone is so much better. I literally just do what she said. Absolute genius. And she's so passionate about the flute. It was really fun talking to her, because you can tell like the passion is just overflowing. It's amazing.
Isn't it wonderful when you find a teacher like that you can just like learn? You just want to sit and soak up every ounce of information from them. Like, oh, it's the best. What are y'all's favorite grade to teach? Oh, that's a good question. Someone from the South. What are y'all's favorite grade to teach?
I really enjoy 6th grade beginner band. A lot.
7th grade beginning band.
Ooh, I see all grades, and so right now high school is mine because I love concert band season, especially this time of year right now. We transition and start getting excited about sitting down and playing our instruments and all these things, especially winter concerts. So right now, especially high school band is currently my favorite with concert band.
I think it depends on the time of year.
Right.
Like when 6th grade and beginners start to really get it, I'm like, yes, this is it. Like, I love this every day. Like, we're having so much fun. We're just rocking and rolling. But concert band's festival season, like when we're going to get ready to play for judges and stuff, like, oh, I love that time too. Like, let's just clean. And like, we're playing high quality music that's just the kids love and that I love. And I don't know, it depends on the time of year, but yeah, and anytime I can wave my arms, and it's good. It's a good grade.
But we're probably about to hop off. We got to go inside. But thank you so much for having us and letting us.
Yes.
talk about
Congratulations.
ourselves for a minute.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Band
you.
directors
Congratulations.
engaged.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Don't know how
So I really enjoyed teaching 6th grade a lot. I think like I'm a problem solver. I love solving problems, and every person is different. And you can't, you can give general advice to like a whole trumpet section or something, but each person's going to need something a little bit different depending on their anatomy and what their body's doing. And like, I really enjoy like figuring that out and figuring out the puzzle, which is super fun. It's also like magic, the first time they learn like an actual song, like just like the pure joy on their face is like super infectious.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
I was
is
a
the
beginner
best.
for that reason, because you go from like not even know how to open the instrument to playing music, and just the growth is so much more fun than getting better. I don't know. It's for me.
There's something about the level of excitement of beginners too, where just everything is new.
Yep.
Sixth grade, definitely for me, 6th grade band. I think at the end of the year, though, I definitely like my 8th graders because like that's when they leave, right? And they just come a long way, and I think they emotionally feel it too. Like they, progress so much throughout the 3 years.
Mr. White, you teach them all. What do you think?
Okay. 8th grade. It's the year the magic happens. Everything really starts settling. They start getting ready for high school. It's just, I don't know. It's just magic every year.
Oh, someone sent a galaxy.
Nice chat.
Thank you, Andrew. That was wonderful.
My favorites have changed with the schedule every year. When we get a new administrator and a new schedule, it completely changes how things look and how the groups are. Usually I really enjoy beginning band first year, and I really did enjoy the follow-up year where it's like now we can start to do real pieces. but that's all gone out the window. Everything after the first year's train wreck right now. But then we get to high school. Oh my God, other cat. We get to high school, and I'm starting to find ways to enjoy that too. I used to love first grade. That was like my favorite grade to teach. It was like elementary first grade. Like the kids aren't in their pants and stuff and crying about, baby issues, but they're like starting to do these really cool things, and they got such a passion. Well, I'll shut up. I don't know who this is.
We have our special guest in the house. Erica, you come back here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm so excited.
They're right next to you.
I knew it. Yes. Cat, I knew it. I said, is it what did I say? I can't even talk right now. Composer.
Yes.
Middle school band director.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Texas.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. I wish I could show my face, but TikTok doesn't seem too happy about that for some reason.
I think it's the way your account is set up since you're like a celebrity.
I guess, I hardly use this thing, so that's very generous of you to call me a celebrity. But yeah, I'm glad to be here and just kind of join the conversation. What's been the topic so far?
What haven't we talked about?
Yeah, everything.
JaRod, I'm such a big fan. I just want to put it out there.
Hey, well, thank you.
How do you pronounce your first name?
JaRod.
Yeah.
JaRod.
JaRod.
Okay. JaRod. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was JaRod or Jared.
I thank you. My mother would appreciate you trying so hard. I was supposed to be named Jared at birth, but my father, who, bless him, he was not really feeling that my name needed to be more manly, is what he said. It needs to have something like Rod, like Hot Rod, and so they compromised on my name, which is really sweet, until you put me in a classroom at 5 years old and a substitute walks in and says, Jared, is there a Jared here? Jared, can you hear me? And, for like a little poor, 5-year-old, autistic black kid, I'm just like, ooh, Jared, oh my God, dude, you're dropping the ball, man. Hello? She calling you? Oh, they mean me.
Yes.
Yeah. But, I will say that I do like the fact that there's a distinction in my name with the capital R. I think it's good for marketing.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much. I'm happy to be here.
JaRod,
tap that
yes,
camera
that's
icon on the
correct.
bottom, and we might get your face. At least mine always defaults to turning off my camera.
You might have to
Yes,
save
I'm
the
going
setting
to
too.
experiment with that now.
My
had to save
kids
the setting
love
after I
Critical
clicked it.
Call. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
We played Critical Call for assessment last year. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, you guys have to tell me all of the pieces. I know Tripwire. I played Tripwire. Who hasn't played Tripwire? Like, if you haven't, get blah. Like, kids love
Tripwire
it.
is a great
They
piece.
eat it like candy. And then we played Time Lord, at our regional band last year. So, which I'm probably going to play.
Very cool.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
so
doing
Time
Tripwire
Lord,
for
I
assessment.
actually, if you can believe it, I tried to make Time Lord an introduction to time signature changes, and I've taught band for about 8 years or so, and I currently teach master classes and private lessons, and I consult a little bit, and I'm going to be a supervising teacher for student teachers next spring for Texas State. But most of my experience is in the middle school band hall, and I remember starting beginners in a very blessed situation. It was a very good spot. My first job was at Berkner High School, and boy, did they know what they were doing. In fact, I really didn't teach that first semester. I listened to everything Lynn Jackson said, and they typed a script
What
for
an
me to
amazing
say.
teacher.
I mean, it was student teaching 2.0, but this time they gave me the keys and the baton, and I would read from my lesson plan on the podium to the students with verbiage approved by the staff, and holy cow, it worked. But then I started teaching. That was my first kind of semester. It was in the spring of 2015. where they hired me as kind of an interim director. And so I was full time, but my first like full fledged job from beginning of the year to end was at Griffin Middle School in Frisco. And with the stuff that they had and resources that they had, they were very fortunate. And we could get really far with our beginners by the end of the spring. So when I'm thinking grade 1, and this is like, I work with Brian Balmages a lot and Randall Standridge a lot. And I have to they have to like talk me off the Texas ledge a little bit and say like, JaRod, bruh, like your beginners could do that. All right. Calm down. All right. But can you make it a little more? And I'm like, what? We were playing 2 octave scales at the end. Brian's like, bruh, look, it's not like that everywhere. And so Time Lord was supposed to be a grade 1, and Brian said, no. And I was like, what? What's wrong with it? It's, just a little bit. So I wrote that piece, and we performed and premiered it at the Invitational Honor Band in Fort Worth. And I felt super confident about it. The kids were great. And putting it together was work. I mean, especially for honor groups that just get 48 hours with each other and then never again. And so for me, I was like, oh, this is going to come together really easily. No. That took most of their brain power. They pulled it off, but I could tell that was like in the middle of I put it number 3. And so we performed like something super slow and pretty, and then we ended with something upbeat but not nearly as hard. And so most of their mental capital was spent by about halfway through the concert, and I thought, oh. And so I called Brian after the concert, and I was like, this might be a 2, and Brian goes, I told you.
You guys what questions do you guys have for Mr. Hall?
We got to play Riz for our spring concert and my kids still make fun of me. Of course, Mr. Ashley, you picked Riz, but it was such a fun song.
Oh, I'm so sorry. One of my favorite, one of my biggest joys in this lifetime has been not like composing Riz. I mean, it was fun. No. What takes the cake is reading the comments on the YouTube video, top to bottom. Anytime I need to pick me up, I'll pick a spot and I'll just start reading. And one of the ones that had me in stitches, like, bro, this is a reflection of the economy. And I do not disagree.
Well, I had ordered You Better Slay. You wrote for Jazz Band, but it's not going to make it in time. And I really liked it, but I ordered it and it's not going to make it, so I'm kind of upset. I'm going to have to do it next year.
Well, You Better Slay is one of those that is really a different chart. Some composers do arrangements of their tunes for different mediums, and they'll do transcriptions, basically. But that one is arranged for jazz. I mean, there's a solo section. The form is different. There's a shout at the end. I've changed like a bunch of stuff. It's a really good... Honestly, it was what the spirit of the piece was as I was writing it, but catered to Stetson and his group at Criminal Intermediate. Shout out Stetson. And they did a great job with it on their premiere. That entire band had the fans and the colors, and they were choreographed, and it was the best time. But I'm glad that you're getting to at least kind of experience it a little bit, and you say it's not going to make it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I had to pivot and find something else. So I still ordered it. I'll do it next year. Yeah,
I'm sure the kids will love that.
What sort of questions do you guys have? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, JaRod, I know that you were I currently live in Maine. I know you were in Maine, I think last school year at Cape Elizabeth. And I wanted so bad to go to your concert, but I had family visiting me from Virginia, because I'm originally from Virginia. But I wanted to know, how did you feel about Maine? Do you love Maine? Because I love Maine.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Lovely. I knew that I wasn't staying, and I was quite sad. Especially because of where I was, Cape Elizabeth. Yeah. And just a totally different vibe up there. Seeing everybody was super friendly. The kids that I worked with were great. They were sweethearts. and I just had the best time. Now, I have a very tinted view of every place I visit because all of the adults in all of the rooms do their best to like roll out the red carpet, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just kind of looking around, getting to see the Atlantic, like I hadn't really, and their lighthouse, I remember seeing like the cliffside, like the point, like in geography, where they say point to that spot on the map. That's Maine, and the border of that is water, and you learn it in school, and then seeing it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I just had a really good time, and the weather was awesome. They even gave me like a shirt that said Kate Band and their own preserves. What was it? It was blueberry, Maine blueberry, so something like that. It was like homegrown jam, and it was a gift from. And I don't think Missy or Caitlin knows this, but it was a gift for me. And as I headed to the airport, the TSA was like, "Bro, I'm sorry, you can't." And I thought, I understand. They're like, "Listen, bro, you can get the same thing at the gift shop once you go through security. I'll even tell you where it is." And I thought, okay, so I did get to bring it home with me, but it wasn't the same jar that they gifted me with at Cape Elizabeth. But I ate off of that sucker for months, and it was delicious. And I am sad that we don't do that here in Texas. We don't do that here.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Hall. Fun fact: my high school band director's name was Mr. Hall. So, what piece of yours have you written that you think doesn't get enough credit or needs more? Like, you wish, like, why aren't more bands playing this piece, or like? Because I know you know what's great. You wrote it.
Bridget's Cross.
Writing it down.
Bridget is the Celtic goddess of fire and fertility, and this was early in my composition careers. I think the second catalog that got published with my stuff in it. So its brother is Tripwire and sister is Critical Call. So that year they had published 3 of my tunes, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Bridget's Cross is a 3. I have gotten exponentially better at writing since that piece, yet that piece contains some of my finest work.
Nice.
Wow.
Right? Don't you know when you
suggestions for high school?
When you like peak? Yeah, I get it. Yep.
It's one of those things that every time I write a slow pretty, I'm always like, oh God, this has to be better than Bridget's Cross. How am I going to top it? But the thing is, it's kind of a category all its own. Its inspiration is very, I don't want to say real because all the pieces are real, but the idea was the entire song is a prayer, a plea, kind of like Robert Spittle's Pacem. It just one of like imagine you are in Ireland, and imagine the coast is becoming deadlier and deadlier, and imagine that your homes are like on the verge of just total catastrophe, weather's kicking up, and you look on the wall with the woven brush in the shape of the cross, Bridget's Cross. It looks a little bit like a ninja star. And the whole thing is supposed to be just this very, yearning, longing. Yeah, I mean, to use a phrase from the culture that I was raised in, I put my foot in that. That's all I can say. I put my foot in that. Some of the like saxophone ranges are a little extreme, but at the same time, it's not too terrible because saxophone is an instrument that extremes of ranges are, early on that that's a thing you work on, and when the music calls for it, you have to do it. And I'm very much of the mindset that music needs to introduce concepts, especially stuff that is marketed to developing bands, school bands, young musicians. It doesn't serve you well to have to do the professional audition with that technique the first time in the audition room. You should see it in the music before you get to that point. Like low B on the tenor is hard, but play it. You know, there's a real powerful moment where you're allowed to be just a little bit honky because it helps you, and you know, get some writing in there that wraps it in this very sonorous sound. And like I said, that Bridges Cross, I have gotten a lot better as a composer since writing that piece, but it contains some of my finest work, some of my most finessed moments. So Bridges Cross,
well, thank
grade
you.
3.
That is wonderful to know. You know, it made me think of Elliot Del Borgo and his piece "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." Like my college band director said, this is the piece he wrote, and then everything else got his kids through college. and you know, like he can't write "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night" again.
Right.
And you know,
Right.
and to me, I'm thankful for a lot of Elliot Del Borgo work. Trust me, like
Hey, I'm a huge fan of Voodoo Dance. I mean, that's the jam.
There's some
You
really
know,
great
like-
middle school pieces, and I'm so thankful that he wrote for middle school. But you know, he also wrote that amazing piece that I got to play in college. So yeah, like I think that composers will definitely reach a moment, and they're like, oh yeah, this is their good stuff. So, but I love all your stuff. So my phone's about to die.
Well, thank you so much.
Harder.
JaRod, will you be at Midwest?
I will, all things permitting. I say that every year. The only year I wasn't able to make good on that was a couple of years ago. My wife and I got hit so hard with COVID the day before. We both had felt just a little bit run down and not sick yet. And we thought, let's just take a quick strip test to be sure. And I don't know how many lines were supposed to show up, but they did. And so I had a bag already packed. You know, I had everything ready to go, and I had to start texting people like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it, but all things permitting, I'll be there in December. So I'm greatly looking forward to that.
What publisher do you hang out with? Like, I know you said you do stuff with several, right? Or are you really with one?
I bounce around. So I will tell you that the person who gave me my shot is Willie Owens. My former coworker Carolyn Chancellor just unknowingly did me the greatest service in the world by inviting Willie into her band hall to work with her band. And, I being like the other director in the room, got to watch and participate as basically like an audience member to just the magic that, it's Willie. He's like the most charismatic dude in the universe. And I shot my shot. I said, hey man, I have been writing stuff for my bands because I don't know what to pick for this group of struggling seventh graders. And in Texas, it's all very, somebody made a wise decision decades ago to really put a lot of infrastructure kind of wrapped around instrumental music education. And so in Texas, we get co-teachers. She was the head director, I was the assistant. She would teach woodwind beginner classes, and we had enough enrolled to have 12 flutes, 20 clarinets, double reed class on its own, and all of that stuff. And the way that they justified it was that they had all of the brass classes do the same thing, and they would meet during the same period. So everybody had a pair, a trombone flute class. Flutes would go over there, I go over here. But because I was there and not directly involved in the clinic, I got to just watch him work, and I thought, man, I could do that. That's really fun. And I asked him, hey, what do I need to do? I write stuff for my kids all the time because I don't know what to pick for them because the music is slim pickings. And so a non-varsity band or a band of primarily seventh graders, where your campus might be 6 through 8, if they start in sixth grade, the seventh graders can be very eager and like have a bunch of just get up and go and potential and all that stuff. But if they don't make super mature sounds, they're not ready for like the heavy hitters, the American River songs, oh my gosh, what do people play now all the time in contests? Like grade 4s, middle schools play like Strange Humors and, Imaginary. I mean, if they're not ready for that, we're looking at the grade 1 list and the grade 2 list. And for, Colliding Visions is a long way away from Canario's Fantasia or whatever. And so there was always that hump. Like for my kids, the seventh graders just were not ready for that grade 2 level of music right out of the gate. But good Lord, if I gave them a grade 1, they'd be bored to tears.
Right.
And so I remember thinking, well, what should I, and when I started writing exercises for them, they became pieces and so on and so forth. Willie Owen said, hey, just send me what you got. And the next person I heard from was Brian Balmages at FJH. And he said, hey, I really like this piece. What do you think about writing a second trumpet part? And I kicked myself and I thought, oh my God, of course, I was yelling at that poor kid because she couldn't hit high B during her 5th month of playing the instrument. Oh my God, yes, of course. Wow, that's why you make the big bucks.
A. Yeah.
And so he goes, yeah, great, cool. So we'll do it. And I said,
awesome.
Do what? Do what? What was you talking about? What you talking about, Brian? He said, yeah, we'll publish it. We'll do it. I really like this one. And he has given me a leg up into an industry that has welcomed me with open arms. And sadly, to just be extremely brief, in my professional musical life, that hasn't always been the case. But now that I've actually gotten a leg up, I mean, it's mostly due to Willie and Brian. And a huge part of my development over the last several years is due to Michael Ippolito at Texas State, who's my composition professor, and Randall Standridge. We work together a lot as well. And so whenever I go to conventions, I never know where to be. I have to say hi to everybody. I'll go over to the Alfred booth that has Make Music, which is some of the people from FJH, which is over there, but then also Randall Stan, which is over here. Murphy Music Press has a bunch of like third party, like I call them third party because they'll like publish my music, but like I have to do my own marketing for them, and I don't do any of that, and so it becomes, they exist, but less people know about them. So I'm bouncing from booth to booth, and I'm still going to classes because I like learning about how to do music better.
Exactly. How many do you have any pieces that are being premiered or being performed at Midwest?
I do. Somebody is playing Riz. I think Canyon Ridge. I've worked with another Canyon
Riz.
At some, yes,
Canyon Riz?
Exactly. Canyon Riz is playing Ridge. We have a quartet of saxophones from Creekview High School in Carrollton playing one of my chamber pieces from Murphy Music called Hot Feet for saxophone quartet, which I'm really grateful for because more people need to know that I write for little groups too. And it's especially special because Carrollton is my hometown, and I did my student teaching at Creekview High School. And I know the director, Art Dennis, so he's hooked a brother up. And there are others. Grand Prairie, South Grand Prairie High School is playing Danza Zanzare, which is inspired by my trip to Italy, where I went to go do like a screen music masterclass. Is a festival, but essentially we just learned from people that wrote video game music, like the dude that wrote for BioShock.
That's such a good game.
It was something that it cost so much money, but I'd like begged all of my friends to donate like a penny, and I scraped together enough pennies to hop across the lake. And when I got there, the mosquitoes were there too, and boy, they did not care about DEET. So it was one of the things that inspired that. But the South Grand Prairie is doing that one. Vista Ridge High School in
Oh, he went on
You're
mute.
muted. We lost you. There you go.
Sorry.
Oh, you're excited. It's okay. Oh, we lost you again.
Did it again.
Get you later. Okay. All right, I think I'm back. But just to be brief, there's 3 groups in Leanne.
We lost you again.
Sorry. There are 3 groups in Leander playing. One of them is, I think, Canyon Ridge, which I talked about. They're doing Riz. Leander Middle School is playing Toboggan. And Vista Ridge High School, not many people know this yet, but they're playing a piece written like for them that is being premiered at Midwest called Contents May Be Hot. It is the hardest thing I have written, as per Robert Herring's request. And it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. That's all I can say. I am looking forward to that. Those students actually premiered Toboggan when they went to the sister middle school, when they had the feeder middle school, Henry Middle School. When they were at Henry Middle School in Leander, they premiered Toboggan, and that crop of 8th graders and 7th graders are now juniors and sophomores, or perhaps seniors and juniors. So that's cool. They remember me, and some of them have beards now, which is really weird. But they sound great, and I can't wait for those performances. So I think there's 5. I think there might be a 6th one, but I'm blanking because I'm panicking. But that it's a very busy Midwest, so I will be around, and truly I will be around. Some of my time will be spent at the Randall Standridge booth. There's a meet and greet at some point. I don't remember when I signed up for it, but Randall does, and Katie O'Hara does at Labrie, so she'll probably post. And the Randall Standridge company is really good at marketing. Like, they're really good. Their social media game is on point. So I'm sure you will see that somewhere at some point.
And
but
Randall
there's a meet and
Standridge is
greet that I'm doing there too.
And Randall Standridge is doing a reading group this year with his company.
I believe so too. I think that's they may even be doing another one of mine at the reading session. I can't be sure.
I'm excited
but there's
for that
at
one.
least that. And I'll also be at the Alfred booth for a little bit.
Bye,
so
Mr.
just come
Nesmith.
say hi.
Hey, it was great being on the call. I got to run and decorate my tree. JaRod, good to see you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Speaking of which, I got to get back inside. We're doing Friendsgiving at the house.
It's all
but
good. Thank you so much for hopping on.
It's been a fun conversation.
Yes, it was phenomenal. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate
Pleasure
it.
to
Tell
meet
your
you.
all your other composer friends that I'll be in their inboxes.
Will do.
Thank you. We'll see you
thanks
later.
so much for the invite.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully you get some followers.
All right, y'all
out of
take
this.
care.
Bye.
Well, you too,
Maybe.
JaRod.
All right, y'all take care.
Bye,
You too.
Rod. Oh wow, that was very exciting. So, was that Erica? Was that who you thought it was?
Yes. Like, I know my composer. So like when you said Texas, then you that maybe he taught, and I was like, it's gonna be him.
I didn't want to give it away too much. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
I couldn't have guessed
I asked Randy too, and he's interested. He was just busy today, so
Sweet. That'd be fun.
and then he friended me on Facebook,
Wow.
and I was almost like lost all my stuff everywhere. Like so, I and then I think I'm friends with JaRod for some reason through Facebook. I don't know why I'm friends with him, but I was. Like, I think I just asked to be his friend one day, and he was like, okay. Like, I don't know who this person is, but sure. Like, and so I just messaged him. I was like, yeah, let's see what happens. And he was excited to come on. So JaRod, I got to remember to say that correctly, JaRod, because I will mess it up. I will, because I always thought it was JaRod.
Yeah.
Do
There
I need
was
to be bringing an instrument to Midwest or something? Like at these play along reading sessions? Like I've done the choral reading sessions, but I'd be
No,
like,
they
hey, sit
have
down
a
and play
band
trumpet with
that's
us.
there. They have a band that reads. You're not
Oh,
allowed
okay.
in. You're not allowed in. Yeah, sorry.
That was always at like my PD sessions. They'd be like, hey, here's some music. If you show up early enough, you get 10 pieces of music and singing. Everyone sings together in this mass group in an auditorium.
That sounds like fun.
It's really cool.
I wish we did that at our state conference. I wish we did a reading session where we just brought instruments and did that. They do that at Conn-Selmer Institute. Like
How do I get in with Conn-Selmer? Like I want to go.
Yeah, I'll send you all the information. It's a blast, and it's in June, so like it's the end of the school year, and it's a good time. It's late. I want to say it's way more laid back than Midwest because
I told my wife I was going. Yeah. I said I don't care what we're doing.
So yeah, if you don't go to Midwest, you should definitely go to Conn-Selmer Institute, and they are having this year. I know they're having a track of instrument repair too, which they've never done before. Nice. But I was talking to the person who is in charge of that, Erin Cole Steele. I don't know if you guys know her or not. She's yeah, she said that they're going to do instrument repair. She's like, it was like you read my mind, and I was like, well, I just was hoping you guys would do it. And so, Mr. Poitras, are you going to be at Midwest?
I'm unfortunately not.
You just got engaged, so I get it.
Yeah. Finances right now are an interesting thing.
I get it. Well, I know that Mr. Kneisel and Erica is joining us. Mr. Ashley, are you going to Midwest?
No, unfortunately not. I've been.
Are we all just gonna be like this little pod? The plastics going around. Like you can't sit with us.
No, we better not be like that.
No,
Mr. White, I hope is going to join us. Hopefully, Mr. White's going to join us.
I was going to do that band director band the Rose Bowl, but I had to back out for the twins. My twins are being born in January.
We've got another composer in the chat with us. Maybe we'll have you on another time, Mr. I don't know how to say your name right. IDO, but I know he's another composer. So
last year I was like doing a lot of content, like, and then I was like and I think I was tagging the composers or something happened. But like the other guest I was thinking was Jorge Vargas, because he's also in Texas. And he also teaches middle school band. So that was gonna be my third guest. My first guest was hopefully, Randy Sandy, but once he said Texas, I was like, it has to be JaRod Hall. But thank you so much,
yes,
Ms. Allen, for bringing these composers in, because they make our job so enjoyable.
They do. And, this is just all about creating this community. I'm happy to do it, and I'm loving helping people. And I don't know, we were talking earlier I think Mr. Kneisel and I were talking about the Myers-Briggs, and where I was talking about how the Enneagram test, I don't know if any of you have taken the Enneagram test, and I think that's a really great decider on who you are. And I'm a 2, which is the helper, and I get why I am the way I am because I took that test. And if you guys have never taken the Enneagram test, go take it, because it'll really help you understand what motivates you, and then you can lean into those strengths, or you can work on why you are the way you are, the kind of rough things too. So anyway, and let's thank Josh, our moderator tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Josh.
Monsoon. Thank you. He's a percussion guy from Arizona. And I see every now and then I'll see new band directors showing up and watching, and I wish I could have all of them. Like Mr. Chamberlain is watching right now. I don't know if you know Mr. Chamberlain. He's like the original YouTube skit guy who did skits on YouTube about middle school band. I don't know. This was 15 years ago, but he was hilarious. And I showed his stuff to my kids, and now people show my stuff to their kids, but he inspired me. So anyway, I know it's 10:03 now. For me, it's 10:03. For y'all, it's still probably only 9:03. But
9:03.
Still tired.
Yeah. So are you North Dakota is central, right?
Part of North Dakota is central.
Okay.
So the line doesn't make sense. So the line used to be straight down the middle of North Dakota for the Missouri River. And this side was central, this side was mountain. And then what happened is the line, people have gradually said, I don't want to be mountain time. Well, we don't want to be mountain time either. So what's interesting, so Mrs. Steppen, who was on the other night, if I drive to where she is, they're on Central Time, but I go into Mountain Time and then back into Central Time. Because the line now goes like that. It's odd.
Well, you know, hey, North Dakota has to have some character. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have nothing else going for us. So
This is character, is what this is, and
Yep.
you know. So, well, I won't keep you guys any longer. It's been a pleasure. I have loved this. I don't anticipate doing anything else until after Christmas, just because time sucks.
Concert season.
Yes. But this break to me was huge. Just I had time, energy, you know, all three, you know, time, energy, a little bit of money. So you can do this kind of stuff. So anyway, I am going to hop off here. Like, thank you guys for coming. If you're still in the chat, 137 of you, go follow all of these creators. If you haven't already, go click the button next to their names, because they deserve you guys to follow them too, not just me. Unfollow me and go follow them, like, if you have to. All right, if you have no more room for followers. All right. But thank you guys again, and we'll see you on the flip flop.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys.